Why does it look like it changed back? Better not have. Hi, reader. How are you doing? Does it look like it changed that back again? I'm gonna be mad. All right, let's do the things. There. We're ready. Okay. Good morning, Jay. Good morning. Second, fifth, what? Finally is wild as if it's not the same time every day. And I am so like, I sit here and wait and I'm like, 9 o'clock. Okay, ready to go. All right, so I had a poll going. If we missed it, we missed it because it's after 5 to 2 on the votes. That means that we're playing this. I was 30 seconds late is wild. Oh, congratulations, reader. That's amazing. Congrats on your promotion. That's awesome. Okay, there we go. Why does the crab go over there? What happened? I know, Maga. I know, Linetti. I know. But we're just listening to the music. Shh. You tell them. We could have listened to Rakata, but they didn't vote for Rakata. Linetti, you go yell at them. Get that chancla out. We could have been listening to Rakata. I'm gonna blame them. I did steal Ari's tiara last night. That did happen. Excuse me. I'm not even in my own live. That would probably help, huh? Buenos dias. Los brinca brincas. I meant what I said. Listen, he's in Colorado with a party supply company. I'm in Colorado. And all I see are the fucking trailers with Los Brinca Brincas. And listen, I get them for my kids too. It's fucking true. I'm just saying. If you're gonna get the jumps, just say you sell jumps, my man. They ruined it. Why? I wish you could invite him up on your live. Why? So he can yell and not control his emotions in my life? I don't need no love. I don't need no Carlos in my life. Oh, Lordy, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Now, maybe if you guys are good, tomorrow you can have Rakata. but that's all dependent on your behavior. Uh, or my mood. Depends on my mood. Rockies win at least 1 of 3 of the time. Here we go, Super Bowl. Uh-huh. Listen, we won against Chicago in the series, so I'll take that as a win because I know, as a Coloradan who is also a Rockies fan, our team is shit. But they're never going to do anything to fix it because they still sell tickets because they're cheap tickets and it's probably the best bar that you have in downtown Denver. So they're not doing anything about Coors Field or the team that plays there. So, but we beat Chicago 2 out of 3. So suck it up, Buttercup. Super Bowl is not what that would be, though, Tanner, and you know that, so why are you rage baiting me? Anyways, good morning to everybody, no matter what woke time zone you're in. I appreciate you guys being here. If you're watching over here on TikTok, let's make sure that we are tapping that screen. We got to, what did we get to yesterday? We did not hit that 400,000, but it was way beyond the 300,000. So you guys are doing fucking amazing on that. So let's start getting those tappers going once again. I expect so much of you, I know, but I appreciate it when you do. Make sure you're tapping that little bar across the screen will increase, and it just helps push us out onto the algorithm as well. Share it out now. Before I start playing clips, before I bring articles onto the screen, repost, repost, repost. So hit the little arrow in the bottom. Hit the repost button, add it to your story, share it to 5 of your friends. Let's get the live shared out now so that we can boost these numbers. The Broncos are going to the World Series is wild. And I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do your daily heart me if you have not done so. That should be that little heart next to my profile picture up there. Duh, because you're obviously already following me, aren't you? Aren't you? And if you're not, what are you doing? And if your heart's grayed out, well, that's sad. You don't love me anymore? Do that so you get access to stickers in the chat that we use in this community. I would love if you did so. Thank you. You guys have knocked out the hearts. You knocked out the chili peppers. We now have Biden's ice cream cone. Poor Joe Biden loves his ice cream, so let's make sure we fulfill out those gift goals. Speaking of, don't forget, if you click on my profile picture and hit C for gift gallery, there's going to be grayed out gifts. I know we're getting to the bigger ones. I totally understand that. But if we could start lighting those up, if you have the extra TikTok coinage to do so, that would be amazing. There goes Mia doing one right now. Shake that healthy butt. Corgi got back. Thank you, Mia. W's to Mia. So that is how you fill out a gift gallery, is you find a gift you want to give and you have to complete all of them. Sorry about that. That's the way TikTok does it. But it's helpful to me, not only monetarily, but really to help push us out onto the algorithm every week, where I sit in the rankings, whatever that means. So thank you. I'd appreciate it. If you're watching over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button for me if you have not already. Yes, even if you are hate watching me, I see you all back in here. It does help push us out onto the Shorts algorithm, and I have that number up there so that you guys can call and have a conversation. I have conversations based off of factually based evidence and not your feelings. If you make a claim that is a positive claim, I'm going to ask you to source that. No, whitehouse.gov is not a reliable source. No, Google AI Overview and ChatGPT are not reliable sources. Find what they are sourcing from, then we can have a conversation about it. Don't tell me it's common sense. Don't tell me, you don't think? No, I don't. I want to see. I don't think. You can hold on to that one. I gave that one to you for free. But I want to see the sources where you believe this information is coming from. I want to see that. Maybe use your critical thinking skills if they actually exist. But hitting that thumbs up helps push it out in case you can't, won't, too coward to do so. Maybe somebody from your side is actually brave enough and willing to call in and not crash out. We'll see. I doubt it. But thank you. You can subscribe. Thank you so much, Kelly, for the fireworks. Thank you. W's to Kelly, please. All I know is at the end of the day, it's common sense. You can subscribe, you can become a member over there, you can send jewels, and you can send super chats in case the chat starts going by too fast and you have something you would really like me to read. That ensures that it gets read. Good morning to my lovely Twitch viewers. I see you over there. Hi, reader, and thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate it. Hello, Surgeon, Yami. Nobody else has said hello yet, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, Shelly. Hello, Shelly. Just want to make sure I say hi to all of you. If you're not following me, please do so. Most of you already are. If you have the means to do so, please subscribe. If you pay for Prime, Jeff Bezos gives you 1 free Prime sub a month. Why not use it for moi? I would appreciate it. Gives you access to emotes in the chat that are similar to the stickers we use on TikTok, and you can send bits over there as well. And the last bit of my spiel, as always, guys, I have 150 left in my goal that I have on there every single day. We pay for women's labor on this platform, so I would appreciate it if we did so. We can crowdfund that with a $1 train, a $2 train, a $5 train to the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in the link tree in my bio across all platforms. If you're over on YouTube, you can see it listed right here, and on Twitch, it's over there somewhere. So thank you guys. Let us get started. I have to reset the gift goal though real quick. And I don't know if my update reversed because they're not organized again. So now I'm mad. They had me in the first half, not gonna lie. I was excited. I thought we had organized this. So we were good to go. W TikTok. And then TikTok was like, yeah, just kidding. Absolutely not. Not gonna do that. So let's get ourselves started this morning. Thank you, Mia, by the way, for bringing this to my attention. I had the one that I shared to you, but I didn't have this other part, so thank you, because that sent me on this weird deep dive that's where I think we're gonna start today. So this happened. Apparently, Donald Trump switched planes in Turkey. Because he's such a strong man that he's not scared of Iran. No way. Iran is nothing to him. Oh, wait. I'm going to catch myself. I caught it. Don't yell at me. I fixed it so you guys can actually hear it. Okay.
Well, given the pictures that you can see now, it makes what the president told reporters in that gaggle afterward all the more noteworthy.
You're saying there wasn't a security concern?
No. Why would they?
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was not usual.
So
Well, yeah, because you're, probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleazebags that we have to deal with.
So you think that Iran was possibly thinking of trying
Well, I
to...
mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they'd feel that way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done it.
were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force
Well, I have
One?
a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go, right?
But was there a
So
specific threat today?
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
If I go, you go.
What the fuck is wrong with him? If I go, you go. If they get me, they get all of you too. So maybe you should quit being a part of the press. What? Okay. I mean, no, he's not wrong, but it's just such a cavalier attitude towards human beings, right, Audrey? Like, yeah, he's not wrong. But what the fuck?
Though the president wasn't actually on the same plane as the reporters who were asking him that question.
Well, here's the thing, though, Adam. You're saying, why wouldn't... I'm trying to understand your sentence. Why wouldn't he, the terrorist, will try taking him out? It's just common sense. I just had a whole entire conversation about please stop using common sense. Duh, they would be trying to take him out. The thing is that Donald Trump said that they are so weak. Iran is so weak. We've taken out so much of their military. They're just decimated. How are they able to be so strong that he's scared that he had to switch planes?
And when they asked him about why they had to lower their own shades, the president said, well, he wasn't told to lower his. Well, he was on a secret plane. He was not on the same plane that those reporters and some White House staffers were flying on.
So he switched planes. Now, who cares? You guys would have cared if Biden or Obama did it, so shut the fuck up. I don't even want to hear that shit anymore. So David Axelrod then talks about being used as a fucking decoy. As you can see images in the background of what happened. He got moved in a goddamn catering truck. He got moved in a food truck.
It was kind of stunning to think that all those on the plane were sort of a decoy there and were not told that the president wasn't on board, and that the deception was continued even after he was safely returned to Washington, and that's hard for me to understand. You know, the reason there's a press pool, the reason.
I do have to apologize for David Axelrod's fucking mouth sounds. I'm so sorry.
And so
Yeah, but if I go, you go doesn't make sense because he was on another plane. Also that. If you go, because I moved planes.
so does Scott. The reason there's a press pool.
If I'm talking about this, I'm lost. Why? What would you like to talk about? You can come up and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about in regards to politics. What do you want to talk about?
Is you always want eyes on the president. There could be a health incident, there could be an unannounced stop, and there need to be people there who can record that so the American people know. And so this habit of giving them the slip is concerning, though the president needs to be protected, and we ought to respect the fact that the president needs to be protected. But this is very unusual, the way they approach this and the secrecy around it.
That's the thing. Like, right, like if the president needs to be moved for safety, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Having to move the president from one plane to the other for his protection makes a lot of sense. What I'm critiquing is the fact that he has said that the threat is coming from Iran, and we know the threat's coming from Iran, but I thought that he decimated them to a point that it's not an issue, and also just the disgusting, cavalier lack of care for human life about leaving the press gaggle on board as some sort of decoy for you. It's gross. It is just gross. So that's why we were covering it. But it's fine because it's not just that. It's also to show what a bitch he is and how scared he is. We had this from this weekend, in case you haven't seen it. This was Donald Trump golfing. There goes the fucking thing for unoriginal. TikTok, get your shit together. Like, to be honest, get your fucking shit together. Anyway. So there's Trump right there. You see right there. There's Trumpy. There's this wire. I don't know if it's razor or barbed. Couldn't tell you. What's that? What's that? Does anybody know what that is by chance? While he was golfing? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain or food cart. I wouldn't waste my time. You'll never agree with anything Trump has done or will do. That's not true. I agreed with doing Operation Warp Speed, so that's not true. Bowser, you see how you had me wrong already? I'm gonna summon Chicky. I love summoning Chicky. That's a favorite pastime for me. Yeah, Fender, that is what that is. Here, let's get to a better image of it, why don't we? What the fuck is that? There he is! There he is playing golf! There he is! That's a goddamn surface-to-air missile defense system that we set up so that he could golf. Oh my god, Audrey, had you not seen that? Thank you for the compliment, Bowser, I appreciate it. Not all of us get Chicky in our house. I did get Chicky in my house. What the fuck? Like, what? He's so scared of Iran, who he decimated, that he golfed with a surface-to-air missile defense system. You know how much that probably fucking cost? Only a dumb lib would believe the press pool was on different plane with Link. What? He moved planes, Flock. Biden can't afford that. That's the taxpayer money, stupid! You guys are dumb. Like, you guys are so dumb. And if Biden would have did this, you guys would have yelled and rallied about what a waste of taxpayer funding because Biden did it. You guys have no fucking principles. You don't hold anything steady. I would not want to see it if Biden did it. I'd be like, what the actual fuck? Then stay inside, my man. Stay inside. Don't fucking go outside if you're so scared of a country that you have to bring surface-to-air missile defense systems with you. I would hold that same standard. You fucking wouldn't. Also, yes, that is true, babe. Biden didn't make himself public enemy #1 to foreign dignitaries. He might have to you because you guys are a bunch of brainwashed little fucking sheep. But, you know. And you're going to defend that. It's the tariff money? Yeah, they got that from the tariff shelf. For sure. That's what they did. That's where the tariff money went. Oh, okay. Surface to windmill missile launcher. Yeah, okay, did also that. That's what I have for you on that. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Jeez, that's the money we save from Doge. Casey! Oh no, I'm gonna have to watch it. So we're gonna do a little bit of a pivot. This is still Trump, but it's not to do with his safety. Remember how Todd Blanche said, yeah, it's dead. The weaponization fund is dead. And so, you're trying to summon Chicky. I was like, why are we yelling? And so that was the reason that John Cornyn, Tom Tillis, and Bill Cassidy voted for Todd Blanche to become the Attorney General. Now, I said he was going to become Attorney General. I fucking said this. We know Cassidy doesn't have a backbone. We'll get into Cassidy in just a minute. But they asked Donald Trump in the Oval Office, hey, is that anti-weaponization fund dead?
Yeah, ma'am, go.
The anti-weaponization fund. Do you
Real quick, no, my channel will not cease to exist once Trump is out of office because I do politics. I don't just talk about Trump. I happen to have to talk about Trump a lot because he's the president of the United fucking States, and he's been ruling by executive order while a feckless Congress allows him to get away with it. But when he's not in office, because I did this before he was in office. I did this when Biden was in office. And yeah, Donald Trump was still relevant because he wouldn't shut his big fat fucking mouth. But I talked a lot about Congress and how they were blocking the things that the Biden administration was trying to do that were beneficial, which is why you don't know about them. Because you don't watch channels like mine with creators like mine that talk about these 6 motherfucking immigration bills that they put in over the course of 2021 to 2024. You don't know about that because you don't listen to it. So I will still have a job because politics don't stop. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, go.
the anti-weaponization fund. Do you think it's still alive at this point, and are there any options that you're looking at to perhaps?
Well, that'll be up to Todd Blanche, who's our new, and who will be, I think, a great attorney general.
Oh, it's up to Todd Blanche. So that was bullshit? It was bullshit. It was bullshit. It was bullshit. Okay, great. Hi, Megan. Okay, and then this one, you know, just as always, because you guys wanted to say the things you want to say. We're going to say the things we have to say with proof that you don't have. If anybody is a parent and has children, you recognize this face. This is the face of every toddler who's fighting sleep. At least he's fighting it.
Take this extremely seriously, as we have been for the last year and a half, and more.
So don't pay attention to Bhattacharya. Hollow Point Purple. Here, you want me to play? Here.
Got your stupid ass.
Maybe that'll bring Chicky in. How about this one?
I'm gonna ignore this hating ass energy you got on your spirit right now.
That one? No?
Never want to see shit from your empty pocket point of view.
Why is she standing like that? I don't know. There is literally, and Audrey, I mean this, there is conspiracy theory going on the internet that she has some sort of button taped to her belly that zaps him awake. It's stupid. We know that that's not true, but that's going around the internet right now. So again, don't pay attention to Bhattacharya. Just pay attention to Trump.
Take this extremely seriously, as we have been for the last year and a half, and more of the presidency. At the NIH, what we've done is we have established the Autism Data Science Initiative, which started almost a year more, actually more than a year ago, where we funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism.
Every toddler ever.
It's a
Jesus Christ!
It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have, as the Secretary said, potentially genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why we've seen such a large rise in autism.
Don't ever talk to me about Sleepy Joe Biden ever the fuck again. Ever! I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it in the chat. I don't want to hear it. No. No, thank you. W's to Steph for the $12. He said, happy Tuesday, free mutes for the mods because I love watching chaos. I love when you do that, Steph. So mods, remember, mod chat in the Discord exists so that you can fight over who gets what. But $12 worth of mutes for you, courtesy of Steph. W's to Steph in the chat, please. Audrey said, yes! I'm so excited. Please, why? I can do this in my head. I could. You know what it is? I get embarrassed the fact that I have people watching me, and that's where I'm like, I don't want to fuck it up. So then I get scared about the math. That's what happens. Because I can do math in my head. I do it all the time when I'm not live. It's fine. Thank you, Audrey. Wild. Okay. Now we're going to go to the health portion. Let's do this. I talked about this yesterday, and actually I'm glad that I waited. I'm glad that we did not get to the health portion yesterday, because then I would have had to do a follow-up today, and I didn't want to do that. It's easier to just do it all in one section. So we're going to watch the full interview that Jay Bhattacharya did with Margaret Brennan, okay? And so we're going to watch the entire thing. And then we're going to move into the EO that was signed yesterday on the relation of vaccines and autism, which doesn't even make any sense. Still doesn't make any sense. But I just want that context because the interview with Margaret Brennan, they are talking about the EO that has been in the works, not that it was done. So when they say they don't know, each other don't know what's in it or whatever, that's honest because it was not written yet. Although, to be fair, her criticism of Jay Bhattacharya not knowing is interesting because he is literally serving as acting director of the CDC. So he should probably have more of an idea what was coming than anybody, but it doesn't seem like he did. But we're going to watch that and see where it gets us. Okay? Okay. But as we're sitting here, make sure we're doing all of the good things. It is almost 9:30 and we're not quite at 50,000 likes, so we're behind. So let's get to tap in here. We're at 89 shares. I know we can get that to 100. Let's just keep working, guys, as we go. And I've got the finger hearts over here. Let's work on that. YouTube, hit that thumbs up button for me. Twitch, just interact in the chat. That's the best way to boost engagement over there. No, don't say it. Megan, no. Don't leave me.
We're joined now by the director of the National Institutes of Health, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning.
And we should mention you're also helping to run the CDC until the new director is sworn in as well.
Until next Wednesday, yes.
Until next Wednesday. So let me ask you about a number of things that I think people at home are worried about, particularly around the food supply. The Cyclospora outbreak linked to iceberg lettuce from Mexico is now in 15 states. There were 2 deaths this week due to it. Yesterday, USDA issued an alert for a range of products that may have salmonella, including meat and poultry. 27 states are affected by salmonella, possibly linked to jalapenos, but cilantro, red onion.
I don't know why she sounds like that. Robotic. That's interesting. Bowser, this is my favorite. Okay, exactly. Thank you, Z-Spark. What for? I'm not just going to say no. I'm going to ask you, what crime did Fauci commit? Can you tell me?
Avocado also listed in a CDC notice. Albertsons, a grocery store, just recalled some items. There's risk of salmonella in eggs in Texas, according to the CDC. And then you have the screwworm outbreak affecting beef. This is overwhelming for someone going into a grocery store right now. Why do they seem out of control?
Well, the Cyclospora outbreak is larger than in normal years. I mean, normal years there actually is a Cyclospora cases. I'll say the 2 deaths that you mentioned, they happened in late June, early July. Before we identified the source. And so folks that are listening, you can rest assured the CDC and the FDA are working hard to trace back exactly where these outbreaks are occurring from, intervening with the sort of suppliers.
Mayday, get yourself together, okay? Like, you already embarrassed yourself enough yesterday. The fact that you would want to crash into my YouTube chat talking about your labor-earned healthcare, which is what the fuck we're talking about. By the way, you already pay for healthcare that's not labor-earned. We described that to you. 3 different people fucking described that to you yesterday. I don't know why you would want to embarrass yourself again, hunty. But seeing as you're telling me to stop grifting and to get a job, W's to Sparky for the 5153. Mutes for Ari to use. And you know the number. Thank you. Because if it's the number I think it is, and it better be the number I think it is. Thank you, Sparky. Ari, that's a crap ton of mutes for you. You have $51.53 worth. Better be that number. Now they're fucking with you, I think, Audrey. I think that's what's happening. Thank you. But W's to Sparky in the chat, Mayday. So there is that. I earned that labor. I earned that.
To make sure that they don't, and doing recalls to make sure that the disease doesn't, condition doesn't spread. I mean, it's tough. You go to a grocery store, you buy lettuce, and you say, okay, can I buy the lettuce?
Yeah.
Bowser, I don't know why you're talking. Yeah, Audrey's gonna mute you now because I asked you specifically what crime Fauci committed. So now you're muted. Bye.
And what I say,
using my union job to pay you. Ooh, I love that. Yes.
Folks listening, we're working hard to make sure that the contaminated sources don't get onto the shelves. And if you're worried, you can buy the lettuce, but make sure you wash it carefully. You don't eat the outer leaves. And if you're really worried, just cook your vegetables.
But
cook your lettuce, guys. If you just cook your lettuce, you'll be safe. It's fine. It's not that we stopped screening for all foodborne pathogens except for what, 2 or 3? No, I know. We only screen for like 2 foodborne pathogens now. We stopped doing that. Thanks for the Maha movement. But cook your lettuce. It's totally fine. Wash lettuce with your Clorox wipes. Yeah.
We're not hearing from the FDA. I mean, should there be a restriction on imports from central Mexico right now? It seems like a lot of things are tied back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key thing is that when we find a contaminated source, we intervene. I can't speak for the FDA, thank God. I mean, it's just the NIH and CDC. But I can say that the folks who I have worked with at the FDA they're a great team of folks that are tracking back and finding the source of these outbreaks. And for Cyclospora specifically, it's complicated because for technical reasons, it's more difficult than if it was just a bacteria to find the exact source. But they've done a great job finding it, and they've been cooperating with the CDC team that I've led the last few months to try to identify the source. And it's what we know now is because of that hard work that's gone on.
But there are also a number of other health issues, including measles cases now at their highest level in 35 years. The CDC says only 10 U.S. states have measles vaccine coverage rates above the 95% threshold in the prior school year. That is so key because that is, as you know, a marker for basically a way to stop transmission, herd immunity. Do you believe that the federal government needs to make a really full-throated push to tell parents, go get your kids vaccinated with the MMR vaccine?
One of the first things I did as CDC director, I think it was back in February of this year, was that there was a big outbreak in South Carolina. And I went on, I don't know if TV is the right word, but I went on camera and I recommended that the best way to end the measles outbreak there was to have their parents vaccinate their kids for measles. Yeah. And the outbreak has now ended in South Carolina.
Okay. So you went out and you had to disavow what RFK Jr. said. So you had to come out and clean up the mess that RFK Jr. and HHS did. I think there's still one in Texas. Okay, thanks. Thanks for cleaning up the mess that they made. Awesome.
In part because of that. There's been a lot of outbreaks, not just in the United States, but around the world. Yes. And, a lot of that has to do with...
Monster, measles outbreak. Is there still a measles outbreak problem in Texas?
Sort of a collapse in sort of public trust in a lot of science, public health measures that occurred during the pandemic for reasons we can discuss. For me, the most important thing is to try to regain that trust.
Right, but why not?
Why isn't the trust there? Why is there no trust? Could it be Donald Trump, RFK Jr. made that distrustful? Could it be that?
You can have TV ads. You can have something that's more of a national push. It was notable last week that Secretary Kennedy...
Right. RFK Jr. put out videos on Twitter with fucking Kid Rock in jeans in a hot tub drinking milk. But we couldn't do a video promoting vaccinations for measles? He couldn't do that? Why didn't they do that?
He went on television and did say parents should get kids vaccinated for measles because it's effective at preventing infection roughly 97% of the time. That was a change for him. He has not always been that clear, as you know. Why not blast that across the airwaves of America?
I mean, I think that I've done my best to try to do that. Every time anyone's asked me about vaccinating for their kids for measles, I say exactly that. The best way to protect your kids from measles is to get the vaccine for measles.
This country's going to lose its measles elimination status in November.
As did Canada, as did Mexico.
But that's not accessible, right? For gold standard science.
But I think...
Oh, okay, so now we're whataboutisming what these other countries did that we always see as lesser than us. I thought that we were the greatest country in the world. We want to keep that so that we can say that we're better than them for losing it? No? Okay. Measles is not cancer. It's not cancer, but kids still die. We had it eradicated. We had eradicated measles in this country. And you idiots brought it back.
The thing is...
Yeah, I know, Megan, Alberta. I think it's the same as, like, Florida. Like, you just want to take, like, the Bugs Bunny saw and, like, just cut around it.
So if you look at the actual what's happened, like there's specific states where you've had these outbreaks. Big outbreak in Texas, which has now been addressed. Big outbreak in Arizona and Utah that's been addressed. South Carolina that's been addressed. Now what we saw was an outbreak in Virginia, again coming down sharply in now Pennsylvania.
Because RFK finally came out and said, yeah, get vaccinated.
Is specific communities of people that are the highest risk that we have to focus on, as well as the broad.
Hospitals can cure measles. Lux, That's not the point. The point is they shouldn't have to cure it because you shouldn't be getting it because we eradicated it with prevention. Holy shit.
Broader sort of message that it's important for children to be vaccinated for the measles if we want to address the measles outbreak.
Well, that's why I brought up herd immunity, because it puts everyone at risk.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Is the term eliminated, not eradicated? I swear that I've read eradicated, but if I'm incorrect on that, Koopa, I will retract it.
Right? Not just people. But on this issue, you were down in Atlanta this past week. This is 1 year since that horrific shooting at CDC headquarters. Officer David Rose was honored this past week. He was killed last year protecting CDC employees from a gunman. And we should note he was a combat veteran.
You know, here, hold on one second. Measles was declared eliminated, not fully eradicated by the CDC. So let's see. Yeah, elimination status. So I was incorrect on that, and I will correct myself. That doesn't mean I'm wrong about everything, Koopa. It just means that I am willing to correct myself. Here. Will likely lose its measles elimination status. Here's what that means. Okay, that's fine. I have no problem saying that I used the wrong word. Measles elimination status is granted and taken away by who, how it's determined. That will go in my live outline in my Discord. I don't have any issue with that. Okay, put that there so that you know that it's there. We continue.
A United States Marine who had just graduated 5 months prior from the police academy. 3 kids.
Koopa, I didn't say you were wrong. Dude, you guys need to chill the fuck out. I didn't say you were wrong. I said, oh, is it eliminated, not eradicated? I will retract my statement. Do you not know what retract means if I've been saying it wrong? Like I just did. Koopa, take a breath. That's why I say I'm willing to have conversations based off of factually based evidence. You were correct. I was using the wrong word. Pardon me. Eliminated, not eradicated. Why are you yelling?
It's left behind. The shooter was motivated by misinformation about the COVID vaccine. That is why he shot over 100 bullets into the windows of the CDC. Is enough being done to counter this kind of misinformation?
I mean, I should start with, I got to talk with Officer Rose's wife a few months back. Well, one of the first things I did is to honor him and his sacrifice in protecting the people that work at the CDC, the amazing people who work at the CDC, was we renamed the street that leads into the CDC after him, and it was a really nice event. I'll tell you
Sputnik, I don't know who Fauci is. F-A-L-C-H-I. I don't know who Fauci is. But if he's going down, I guess good for him.
The thing is, I want to focus on attention on Officer Rose because I think the shooter did was horrific, and I think you can talk about why shooters do things, but really fundamentally.
Well, his father said he was brainwashed about the COVID vaccine and thought it was making him suicidal. That's what his motivation
the thing is, it's like to talk about the shooter puts the emphasis on somebody who's. I think we shouldn't be putting our emphasis on.
No, I am on misinformation about.
I think the key.
So the thing is here is that they are trying to focus, and I agree, I would agree with Bhattacharya that we don't want to focus on the shooter, but she's not focusing on the shooter, she's focusing on his motive. And his motive was, right, yeah, but also that, Megan, that's not, I would agree with him here. However, they do not hold that same fucking stance in regards to any of the school shootings. Let's talk about the shooter, his family life, and his mental health issues, and not the actual weaponry, but that's a completely different subject. But she's focused on the misinformation and the disinformation that this man believed, that was so easily disseminated to him from people in a governmental administration that caused him to do this.
The key thing is there's a loss of public trust in public health that happened in part because of a lot of, frankly, even on this network and on other networks, there was a particular single point of view put across during the COVID pandemic about how, that led to things that really did cause harm to people. The school closures is probably the number one thing
This is not a production.
The school closures were the number one thing that hurt Americans during COVID? The school closures were? Or was it the fucking people dying?
productive line of claims. We covered COVID in depth on this program like no other Sunday show did.
I'm not blaming you specifically. What I'm saying is, you want to talk about misinformation. The kinds of decisions and sort of the public sort of face of public health during the pandemic led to many people losing trust in public health.
The Trump administration officials.
No, I mean like Biden. So Biden, for instance,
The
censored
pandemic
me.
began under the Trump administration.
But during
And we
the
put those officials-
Boom, 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 chicka, boom, 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 chicka. When did the goddamn pandemic start? When did the fucking lockdowns start? By the way, not directed by the president. They were recommended by the CDC, and governors of states chose to do what they did. Started in 1867. You see how he fumbles? Because he wants to do,
What about Biden?
instead of actually focusing on where it started, where the disinformation fucking started.
Disclosures is probably the number one thing.
If I'm loud, turn your volume
This
down.
is
Right now, I
not
have
a
a really good mic,
productive
so I can
line
have
of
Buttercup.
claims. We covered COVID in depth on this program like no other Sunday show did.
I'm not blaming you specifically. What I'm saying is, you want to talk about misinformation. The kinds of decisions and sort of the public sort of face of public health during the pandemic led to many people losing trust in public health.
The Trump administration officials.
No, I mean like Biden. So Biden, for instance,
The
censored
pandemic
me.
began under the Trump administration.
But during
And we
the
put those officials on our air.
just so we're clear, the Biden administration censored me, right? They sent out.
How? How did the Biden administration censor Jay Bhattacharya? Because you can still read his fucking studies on his advice against lockdowns to this day. How was it censored? Because I can search it right now and find it.
Direct attacks on people who disagreed on the COVID on sort of whether the COVID vaccine stopped it.
RFK Jr. called the
What is that? Oh, you weren't censored. People just talked shit about you, which they're allowed to do per the First Amendment, because you went against the general scientific consensus about vaccines and about lockdowns and about masks. That's why. You weren't censored by the Biden administration. Like I said, you can search right now. Look up Jay Bhattacharya, COVID. You're going to find his entire list of the things he said during that time. He wasn't censored by anybody.
COVID vaccine, the deadliest vaccine ever made. That is misinformation, and we're not being clear about that. And I think that is dangerous.
And as she points out, people saying that it's the deadliest vaccine, that's not true. That is just blatantly, objectively not true. No, I know, Megan, I'm just telling MAGA, really, because you know that they didn't read the consensus of studies that we have, and they also didn't read the people that they believe. They just heard what they wanted to believe, and then they moved on with their life.
Lost their jobs, Margaret, because the Biden administration censored people and said, look, you can't even talk about COVID vaccine harms. Yeah.
Where? Where did they censor people? I'm still waiting for an example all these years later. Where? You're going to say Mark Zuckerberg? He made a choice. If he felt pressured, then I'm sorry that he's a little bitch. I thought you guys were all alpha men.
And I'm talking about why you have the kind of distrust that's led to the kind of problems that we're talking about earlier in public health. That distrust was not caused by President Trump. It wasn't caused by Bobby.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? He literally created a mission that I actually give him credit for doing, which is Operation Warp Speed, in regards to creating the vaccine and creating it faster. He has been vaccinated. He has all of his fucking boosters. And then he came out because his base was like, no! And he was like, but, you know, also like horse tranquilizer and hydroxychloroquine and putting light inside the body, ultraviolet light inside the body would be a good idea. And also injecting disinfectant maybe. Because he had to appeal to you fucking idiots. Hi, Mia.
Hi, speaking of hydroxychloroquine, oh my gosh, the way I am beefing with whoever sat there and was like, yes. Because I was diagnosed with lupus, what was it, a year before all of that happened?
Jesus.
And then they started having to cut my medication because there was a shortage of hydroxychloroquine. So I couldn't even properly treat my lupus to make sure I wasn't missing work or to make sure I wasn't having flare ups and stuff like that because there was a major shortage with hydroxychloroquine. So they were rationing out my daily medication.
Somebody saying I believe in warp asked FFA testing. It didn't rush the testing. They still use the same amount of testing. What takes so long is the approval of the testing. You go from one testing phase to another testing phase to another testing phase. What they did is they removed that obstacle and released the funding to be able to do that. So that when they finished one testing phase, they didn't have to wait on approval for the funding for the next testing phase. The Trump administration was like, here it is. By the way, you also had people like Dolly Parton putting towards that funding so that Pfizer could do the testing. If the testing wasn't faster, it was just faster in way of removing those obstacles of approval and funding. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like the tape and bureaucracy was reduced rather than the testing itself. Like we could have so much more faster, but there's so many other steps that are administrative that go along with that. And no need for apologies, guys, y'all. It's fine. It was just that's the harm that the misinformation does. Is like you have people like seeking out things that they don't actually need or that's not going to help them when it takes away from the people that actually do need these certain things. Like think about the fucking toilet paper crisis. People started buying up baby wipes and then people with children with babies didn't have fucking baby wipes to get. And like it's those types of things.
Right. And then Dr. Frank said it wasn't Trump that forced the vaccine. Who did? Because nobody did. Love that. Anyway.
Thank you, Sparky. I want you to know that I did do the corgi wobble because I love the corgi.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble.
You know I will for you.
Was caused by a lot of sort of really fundamentally, but often spread by the government itself regarding natural.
Dem governors did. Prove that, Dr. Frank. Which Democratic governor forced vaccines on people, on their constituents? Can you prove that to me?
Community, closure of schools, closures of mask mandates. People lost their jobs because of these vaccine mandates that didn't make any public health sense.
Oh, so what you're talking about, which is probably what you're talking about, Dr. Frank, is not a governmental entity at all. You are talking about corporations, private companies that the government does not control. Private companies put in vaccine mandates for their employees. And guess what? You even had a choice then. A lot of them said you either get vaccinated or you have to test every day or every week. And people went, no, no. And they were like, well, you're fucking fired. Go find a job where they don't care about you getting vaccinated or testing. And then you all cried, my rights, my constitutional rights. You had rights, your choice. You don't. And by the way, if you want to cry about rights, don't live in capitalism. But you're crying about a corporation making the choice to either have their employees vaccinated or tested.
So if
the military was not given that option, the military is not given a lot of options, Dr. Frank. The military is not given a lot of options. You think you have a fucking option where you get deployed? You think you have a fucking option what your contract is when you sign that, bitch? Mia's back. Because guess what? She served.
God damn it. Yo, I was active duty and pregnant when they were doing these things, and I still had to get the vaccine. These are things that happen in the military. Like, it's legitimately something that happens in the military. Unless you have a religious exemption or you have a fucking allergy to something within it, it is a requirement because it's a matter of public health and safety. So please spare me with the whole, well, the military. You all did not care about the damn peanut butter shots going on in your fucking ass cheeks. Y'all didn't complain about needing to get a fucking typhoid shot when you weren't even going to get deployed. Y'all were not complaining about any of this shit.
Anthrax.
They
The
random,
anthrax
yeah, the
vaccine. That
anthrax
they
vaccine.
tested on you, dumb bitches.
Yes, like if you've heard of the green weenie, I don't know why you're fucking complaining because it was going to happen whether you liked it or not. All right. Like, please spare me. And for those that are sitting there talking about the military and have never served and talk about what about our vets? Let's talk about how this administration harms vets. All right. Any Hoosers, back to the show. Bitch asses.
The last thing I'll say to Dr. Frank, who said those were tested. COVID wasn't as silly. They've been testing coronavirus and mRNA in regards to coronavirus. They had been doing that for about a decade or more. You didn't know that. So this wasn't new. The novel virus was COVID-19, but it being coronavirus, we have studied that for decades. You are just dumb. By the way, those military members sued and they got whatever settlement and their reenlistment fucking back anyway, so why are you crying?
If you want to talk about public trust, you have to embrace that fully. Right? You can't just talk about it in a narrow political way.
I'm talking about a shooting at the CDC and an officer. You said you just went to honor. That's what I was talking about. You're talking about something else entirely.
You're trying.
I also asked you about shoring up public health
what you're
in the
talking about is what you're talking about is you're trying to blame the shooting on Bobby.
No, I'm not. I'm reading you what his father.
The opinion line, I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate that you're talking about the fact that this is a distraction from Donald Trump and the money he's making in office. I don't see it as a distraction. This leading into the EO that we are going to talk about leads to real harm for children and for society in America as a whole. So I don't think it's a distraction to talk about. I talk about the corruption all the time. When his disclosure forms came out on his stock trades and his bond trades, we talked about it. Spent probably an hour doing so. We talk about his corruption all the time, but this is just as important because this harms children in our community.
They're said.
No, what you're saying, what you're implying is that somehow the lack of public trust.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about your visit there. And is enough being done?
I think it's
Let's
really
talk
unfortunate.
About, since you want to restore public trust, tell me what you're doing now, because the Washington Post and Bloomberg reported the White House is preparing an executive order on vaccines and autism. What is it going to prescribe? What is it going to do? Why are we seeing another announcement here when I know you are launching research into a plethora of issues that are contributing factors potentially to autism? Why would the White House be saying only look at this thing?
Well, I would have to ask the president about specifics of the executive order. I'll tell you what we're doing.
Do you think that's restoring trust in vaccines?
The purpose of you can ask the president about the executive order, but I'll tell you what the focus of the president has been. You don't know about the executive order? I won't be able to tell you specifically what's on it because I don't think it's done yet. But
why not? You are the acting director of the CDC and you don't know? You don't know a roundabout of what he's going to do? Oh, no. Opinion line, I agree with you completely on that. The Fauci COVID stuff. The only thing I'll do is I push back on MAGA and I ask them what crime. I have yet to have a crime given to me about what he did. That was an actual crime. I agree which is why I'm not covering that portion. I did cover that they voted him in contempt, but I'm not covering them asking about contempt. I'm not covering any of that because it's fucking pointless and stupid. I agree with you on that.
You can ask the president about it. What I can tell you is that the president cares deeply, as does Bobby, about the rise in autism. I know you do as well. There's so many families around the country that have had, have faced the issues of this.
And
right?
we want real information.
And so I, as NIH director, have been focused on making sure that we have science that addresses that very complicated question about why we've seen a rise in autism.
Sure. Do I think we'll ever, the problem is I think you guys are looking for one set reason as if to cure it, which is disgusting and it's eugenics, and we're going to talk about that again more when Trump starts speaking. What is bad about having autism? Now, we've seen an increase in it. I don't even like saying it like that, because what we have seen a consensus in the scientific community, so I don't know why he's not being honest about this, is that we have better tools for diagnosis now. So yes, you are going to see an increase in the population having it, not necessarily because more people are catching autism, but because we are able to diagnose it better. The same way we see with postpartum depression in women. And that's still not being studied enough. But we are able to see that we've had an increase in postpartum depression in women. Why? Not because more women are getting postpartum depression, but because we're able to diagnose the symptoms better and treat it better. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't cure autism. You're not going to get it out of existence, and that's fucking eugenics if you think so. It is an insult to children and to people on the spectrum. We diagnose better. That's what it is. What we do know is that a majority scientific consensus on studies do not link vaccines to autism.
It's not going to be a simple answer. Last year, I authorized something called the Autism Data Science Initiative. That we're going to have a big sort of early sort of results from it in a couple of weeks from the dozen and more scientific teams that have been funded to look at this, with a mandate of thinking very broadly, not just genes, not just environmental exposures, but potential interactions. We don't know. If you ask me as a scientist, do I know why we've seen this rise in autism? I'll tell you, I don't know the answer to that question. And
Duh. That's fine. You don't have to. Maybe it's a question we don't have to know the answer to, besides the consensus that it's better diagnosis.
The fact that it gets so tied up with, okay, is it vaccines, not vaccines? What it does is it sends a signal to scientists that if you work on this topic, you're going to get destroyed if you get the wrong answer.
Yeah.
I've tried my hardest. The way you build public trust is allow people to talk and think without that kind of sort of political overlay. I've tried my very hardest as an NIH director to allow that to happen.
Which is so key for science, which is why I'm asking you why the president putting out an order specifically focused on what seems to be preconceived notion, how that wouldn't be undermining.
You're jumping ahead. I mean, I don't know exactly this executive order, neither do you. So
actually, I'm gonna let him finish that real quick now before I.
Why the president putting out an order specifically focused on what seems to be preconceived notion, how that wouldn't be undermining.
You're jumping ahead. I mean, I don't know exactly this executive order, neither do you. So it's not. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you don't.
Yeah, Margaret wouldn't know. She's not working in the administration. You are the acting director of the CDC. Why don't you know a roundabout? But she's not wrong, and I'll show you that she ends up being right. I guess she's a prophet. Is this preconceived notion that RFK Jr. and Trump have that vaccines cause autism and that Tylenol causes autism, that is what they're purporting. They don't have any proof of that, but that's what they're purporting. Jeffrey, you said autism is not genetics. Can you show me a study that proves what you're saying?
My colleague Matt Gutman here at CBS asked you last week whether you think vaccines cause autism. You said you don't know for certain. You said there isn't evidence that any vaccine causes autism, but you also don't have evidence that vaccines do not. Parents are preparing to send their kids
want to be
back
very
to
clear
school.
what I actually said.
Please be clear.
Yeah.
Should parents trust that they can go vaccinate their kids when their doctor tells them to do so for them to go back to school?
I think that parents, for most kids, especially for the measles vaccines, the DTP, all the standard.
Jacob, I know you're not bringing up candidates who have been accused of rape. I know the fuck you're not. Bitch, I know the fuck you're not, Jacob. You want to call in and talk about Trump? You want to talk about Matt Gaetz? No? Okay.
Childhood vaccines, it's very important that parents vaccinate their kids. As far as can they feel confident sending back to schools, I just to push back some, it was a tremendous mistake to cause parents to fear about sending their kids to school during the COVID pandemic. The kids were better off in school. We shouldn't be scaring public.
I'm talking about what people do now. It's August, about to be September.
Yeah, but
kids
Margaret,
are going back to school.
you're
I'm not talking about 2020. I'm talking about 2020.
We're talking about now because we do not want to see an outbreak of measles, mumps, or fucking rubella in our schools with your idiot administration telling parents not to vaccinate their fucking kids. That's what they're asking about. We're not asking about 2020. It happened. They recommended what they did based off of the information that they had at the time. And the information that they had at the time was that young kids and older people were more susceptible to the virus and more susceptible, especially being unvaccinated, for the virus to mutate and become more deadly, which it did, so that we should keep the kids out of school. They were out of school. A lot of kids were given tablets from their schools to be able to do online school. I had online preschool for my kids. Cut it out. It's so fucking dramatic. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Hey, what's up? This is Jeff, 35. Trump, obviously.
All right, what'd you call in about?
Nothing. Just want to talk about Trump, about these injections you're talking about.
Yeah, what about him?
Have you gotten any of these shots or boosters?
Yep.
How many?
I think I'm missing the last 2 boosters, to be fair, but I don't go to the doctor a lot, which is an issue with our healthcare system more so than it is anything. But I'd have to pull out, I still have my COVID card in my purse downstairs somewhere. But I did get the initial shot, and I did get, I want to say 2-ish boosters. I don't even remember how many there are now. But my kids have gotten every single one.
Did you ever have COVID?
So there was one time I thought I did. We had test kits in our house. And I tested and it came up negative. And I tested again and it came up negative. But that was the most sick I've ever been in my life, so I assumed it was, but I'm not sure. So technically, no, because I never tested positive.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Might have been a different well, whatever. My brother got COVID, and he works for the airline. So we ended up getting all the vaxes and the boosters and everything.
Yep.
Now he's come down with heart problems.
Oh.
What is that? The enlarging of the heart, like other issues that other people.
What's your brother's height? What's your brother's height and weight?
What is he about? He's about like a little under 6 foot, 200, a little less, maybe more not 200, let's say.
Is he
about 5'11"?
Is he relatively active?
Yeah. He's not like inactive. He's always on his feet, always moving around. He's not a heavy set guy. He's never had any health problems.
He did get COVID, correct? He tested positive for COVID?
Yes, multiple times actually.
Oh, multiple times he tested positive for COVID. Okay, so did you know that COVID also, especially if you get long haulers, but COVID anyway, gives you heart issues as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how can you determine where his heart problems came from?
We can't yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling it. I have nothing against vaccinations. I think, when I was a nurse, I know we need vaccinations in this world. I understand. But something about the COVID vax just didn't hit me right.
Yeah, why? What'd you read about it?
The speed. No, nothing what I read. This is just my personal.
Then I don't care. That's just your feelings about something you've never read about without any kind of information. I don't care.
Okay, I'll tell you what I read. Do you know they were giving out $100 a pop to give a vaccination out? People were coming with all their kids. They were giving it out at Citi Field.
Let's see. Citi Field gives $100 for what?
For COVID vaccination. I'm not sure if you could find the Citi Field one.
Let's see.
It's a little too limiting, but
let's see. Citi Field. Hold on, I'm gonna look. Citi Field did not give out $100 cash rewards for COVID-19 vaccines. Instead, the New York Mets partnered with the state in 2021 to offer free baseball game ticket vouchers to fans who received their vaccine shots at the stadium. Yeah, what's the problem with that?
Don't you see what the problem is? What that is? Usually you have to pay to get vaccinated.
No, the shots were free anyway. The government gave them out for free.
But if I was sick right now and I was like, hey, doctor, please give me a shot, he's going to say, hey, where's my money?
Oh, yeah. So I agree. And sounds like you agree that we should have universal health care so that vaccines are free at point of purchase. Yes. I'm glad that you got there.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree. We should have universal health care so that whenever you get vaccinated, it's free. Awesome.
Yes. I hear, what country is it? Is it Mexico or something is having universal health care starting 2027?
I have no clue.
Oh.
Randy,
who does have universal health care?
Randy, is that you?
Wow, you got
I just wanted to prove a point. It is Mexico. Awesome, Linetti. That's fucking awesome. Good for them. You guys come up to kind of fight shit. I see a problem with that. Why would I see a problem with that? We know that when you get herd immunity from people getting fucking vaccinated, the more people that are vaccinated, the more we eliminate the fucking virus because it doesn't have an opportunity to fucking mutate. So yeah, there were a lot of incentives going around to get people fucking vaccinated so that the community was safer and had less of a chance of it spreading and mutating. But yeah, I would agree. I think we should have universal health care so that it's free at point of purchase. So that you can get fucking care. Awesome. Cool. W's to Omi Oh My for 36.47 for Margaret's Big Bird power suit and using said powers for good. Yeah, I don't know what the yellow that they chose for her, but W's for that. Yeah, we appreciate we appreciate her going off. She did a much better job. I don't know, it's a hard comparison, to be fair. She did a much better job than Dana Bash did with RFK Jr., but to be fair, she's talking to Jay Bhattacharya and not RFK Jr., so I don't know. But thank you. All right, we've got about a couple minutes left of this, and then we'll move on to the EO as we keep going. I knew this was going to be a longer segment, so here we go.
But we're talking about the why
Clarity
people have the
from the federal government.
Just so we're clear,
the top health
if
official.
you want clarity, let me give you some clarity.
Please.
The reason why you have this problem of public trust is because what happened in 2020 has not yet been addressed.
Can these parents trust you? And the
What's happened in 2020 hasn't been addressed. You're right. It has not been addressed because Trump keeps spouting bullshit and you guys keep buying it. So it hasn't been addressed. We keep trying to address it. You guys don't want to talk about that. You want to say Fauci's going to get locked up for what crime? You guys can't give me a crime. Question, why is he acting? Why is he the acting? Why did they put him up for confirmation? I'm not sure, because he's also in charge of the NIH. So it might be just, that's a lot of big responsibilities to have at one time, is that he's in charge of the NIH in that way. Randy, you are banned from this platform. Stop calling me. You're banned from this platform. Stop fucking calling me.
recommendation that they should go get their kids vaccinated.
The parents should trust me. I mean,
R. Barron, can you tell me the difference between universal health care and Medicaid for all? There's really not one. It's just the names that you choose to do it, right? We just don't call it, I know that they used to call it, well, when people called it free healthcare or whatever the fuck, and that's not true because it would never be free. Obviously, we pay for things with our tax money, so that's why we don't call it that anymore. I think just universal is kind of a catch-all. Medicaid for all is basically the same, but then people equate it to government and they get scared because they don't understand. But
I'm giving my recommendation. I vaccinated my kids. I don't think that
Fauci lied to Congress. He should be in prison. Lied about what? What did he lie about? Earl, what did he lie in front of Congress about?
I think if you want to protect your kids from these sort of parental diseases, yes, you should vaccinate your kids.
So Jay Bhattacharya is saying vaccinate your kids. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
41. What was the second thing?
Your state and who you voted for.
New Mexico. I didn't vote.
Okay, why'd you call in today?
I called in because I feel like we got to stop talking about how Trump is wrong and start talking about how he's purged our military leadership and how he's going to pull January 6th 2.0.
I have talked about the purging of the military leadership, and I have had the Fox News clips of the generals that he has fired. I have done that, but I have to cover lots of other things too because he's doing lots of other things.
Yes, I understand he's doing lots of other things, but it's more about our focus and our attention. I think that where we're at right now is the scariest place this country has ever been in.
I agree.
We don't know what the military is going to do. We don't know if we still live in a democracy. And I think those of us on the left, I didn't vote because I was moving, so I didn't
have a chance to
registration. Yeah.
Sure.
I think we're in a position now that we have to start preparing ourselves for the inevitable. It's clear that he's going to declare a national emergency, and this has to be our central focus, is making sure that these election results stand. We all know that we're going to destroy him in the polls.
Here's my thing. I agree. I talk about these things, but I have to talk about things that also affect the health of our children and our society as well, because there's not going to be a country to fight back for if all of our children start dying from measles again. So I do cover those things.
That, but this is Steve Bannon's tactic.
Today just might not be the day that I talk about that. Actually, I do have on my outline specifically in the election section where he went on a show this morning where somebody told him to declare a national emergency for elections. So I was going to talk about that. So I do talk about
I understand, and it's not just you or anything like that. I'm just saying that Steve Bannon's tactic is to flood the zone.
I know.
You know,
I talk about that all the
so
time too.
We've got to, I know, but that's the thing is when we're talking about all these different
then start
things.
your own show and do the same thing then, because what you're telling me to do is stuff that I'm already doing.
Well, I don't have a following. I'm a little late to the game. It's just my suggestion. You don't have to take it, but I do think that we need to start
I
focusing
don't need to
on the
take
most
it because
important
I
thing
already
first.
do it.
Okay.
Okay. Pay for women's labor. Pay for women's labor on this app. Pay for women's fucking labor on this app. Do I not? Because call me out, community. My community who knows me, who's in my Discord, who's here every single day supporting me. Do I not? Have I not talked about? How many times have I gotten taken down on TikTok talking about elections that I have to change my fucking language? You guys have had to run to YouTube and Twitch to watch me there because I talk about it so much and what he plans to do. Hello? Why would a man be there? Anyways, we literally have like 1 minute left of this video before we hopefully try to fucking move on. 118 of you over on YouTube, if you could hit that thumbs up. I would appreciate it if you have not already. It would mean a lot to me if you did. Don't forget you can subscribe over there, become a member. You can send jewels, you can send super chats over there on Twitch. I see that we have a new follower. Thank you so much, Cool. I'm guessing it's Cool Ranch, but you got the under dash. Thank you so much for following over there. I appreciate it. You guys can send bits over there and subscribe. TikTok, you guys are doing fantastic in way of taps. Let's keep that up, please. We are at 126,000. We would like to hit 300,000 before we end the show today. So let's make sure that we are working on that. We still have the finger hearts, so we have not gotten past the finger hearts, and that's a little disappointing. So let's make sure we're doing all of the good things. And I have 50. Excuse me, you know me and my moist, phlegmy mouth. We have 50 left in the goal. Let's start working on that. W's to Juicy Juice, actually, for the 5 for your labor. W's to Juicy Juice, please, for the 5. I appreciate that. That brings us down to 45. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Yeah, voted for Trump, 32. And you said state?
Yeah.
California?
All right. Well, why'd you call in today?
I'm calling because I was in the chat, actually, and I was saying how, if Fauci's not guilty, why did he receive a presidential pardon by Biden?
What'd he receive a pardon for?
He received a pardon to protect him from any possible convictions from, I believe it was February 2014 till up to, I think I'm pretty close on the dates. Don't fact check. You can fact check me, but from 2014 to 2019 of like any wrongdoings during the initial like COVID whatever.
It would be he was given a preemptive pardon between a certain amount of time because it wouldn't be 2014. It definitely wouldn't stop at 2019 because we would have continued into 2020 when the pandemic really ramped up. But he was given a preemptive pardon for the fact that Trump and his crew had talked about possibly going after Fauci. Now, we have never been given a list of what those crimes were, but we were just talking about federal prosecution during that time frame. So that he wasn't pardoned for a crime, which is completely different than other pardons that are given.
I pardon somebody who's not guilty. That doesn't even, it's still equally suspect.
Because of weaponization by the government coming after people.
But then they want to attack Trump for 34 felonies and this and that with no convictions. It's the same thing.
He literally has 34 convictions. He literally has 34 convictions.
Right, but that's not set in stone. Anybody can be convicted of anything.
No, it literally. What are you talking? A conviction is not set in stone. He was literally convicted and sentenced.
Right.
Okay.
Right, convicted and sentenced, and then what? And then what happened though? He was never actually found of wrongdoing of any of those crimes.
Yes, he was. He has 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, and he was sentenced by a judge to unconditional discharge because he won the election.
Right, he won the election, and you libtards are fucking mad about it, and you give your children this fucking poison, and you keep vaccinating your children.
You're all over the place, sweetheart. Can you focus?
I'm not your fucking sweetheart. You're just
what crime did Fauci commit?
Should be removed from your household because you're a negligent fucking parent.
Sweetheart. Oh, I
Literally,
bet.
you people are fucking.
I'm so
you people are
negligent.
fucking
What's the
brainwashed.
crime Fauci committed again?
He lied to the American people in fucking public record. He lied to these people. You shouldn't have to incentivize the fucking vaccine.
What did he lie about?
The effectiveness of the vaccine. What do you mean? He covered for so many other people. Fauci's the tip of the iceberg.
Proof
He's
he
just
lied?
a fucking front
Nope.
man.
I would like to see the proof that he lied about the efficacy of the
Right,
vaccine.
I may not have exact concrete proof, but the
That's
fact
why
that he had to receive
that's why
a
he hasn't
fucking-
been charged then, because you would have to prove his intention, his malicious intent to lie about the efficacy of the vaccine, and you don't have
any
that.
type of pardon is suspect though.
Any type?
That's still suspect. What?
So when Trump pardons people, that's suspect too?
Biden pardoned his own fucking son, and his son was a fucking crackhead.
I know.
Right, so
I don't
what's
agree
the-
with the
what's the
pardons. I'm with you. Let's get rid of the pardon power. We'd have to do a constitutional amendment to do that, but I am with getting rid of the pardon power.
These vaccines, man, they got you guys brainwashed. Really, seriously. Fuck
No,
Trump at the end of the day,
I read
but
the
they got you guys
science.
brainwashed.
I've read the science. You haven't.
You're reading the science from people who don't give a shit about our well-being.
Why wouldn't they give
You're
a
reading
shit?
science. Who is your source? Like literally.
We have a consensus of studies. Where is your opinion coming from?
It's two opinions combating each other though, because you're saying you've read the facts, but you have no. What's your medical history? Like, what's your medical background?
I didn't say I
You're
have
just some
one.
you're some.
I'm not
random
citing
person on YouTube.
myself. I'm not citing myself. You sound like you're citing yourself.
It's
But
sad,
again,
honestly. I don't wish anything
Fauci-
bad on you,
Fauci
but you
didn't
give your
commit a
you give your
crime.
children this fucking poison. This shit is garbage. I don't
Except
care what
it's
you say.
not.
This vaccine is garbage.
You don't care what I
It's for
say.
the
It's not
purpose of
about
the
what
thing.
I say. It's about what the scientific community says, and they said that it's safe.
Why are people dropping dead between the ages of like 35 and 50 all of a sudden, randomly?
Show me that
Why
proof.
is that?
Where's that proof?
What do you mean show me that proof? It's happening.
Where?
So many people are dying.
Where? Where's the proof of that?
You can look it up. A simple Google.
You
a
can
simple
look
Google
it up. It's
search
your
will show
claim.
you.
I tell you guys this every single time. If you're going to make a claim, you better be able to damn well prove it. So show me that there's an age range of young men dropping dead due to the vaccine. Prove it.
I mean, I see it in the news. I see it posted. I mean, they're not going to lie about
Oh,
fucking
you believe
death.
the news now?
I never said I didn't believe the news. I don't believe the health advisors that are fucking
That were
telling
in
us
the
to take a
news.
vaccine.
You didn't
without-
believe them, but you believe the dropping dead. What kind of news do you watch?
I don't watch the news specifically. I mean, I see what I see in my phone and my articles or whatever.
But that's where he saw the dropping
laugh all-
dead
you
of the
can laugh
men. Can you show me the survey where they're
You can laugh-
dropping dead?
you
Can you
can
show me
laugh.
the study where they're dropping dead from the COVID vaccine, please?
Celebrities have dropped dead from heart problems. Plenty of them have.
And those were
Plenty
correlated to
of
the
them.
vaccine?
Well, it just so happens that it did happen between that 4-year span during COVID. Yeah, that vaccine is not that vaccine has not been really tested.
You guys, we also
It's like
had
the
a
same
height.
people who
We
believe
also
that
had a height.
that
We
you-
had a height of police brutality. That was also the vaccine's fault, by the way. Didn't know if you knew that the correlation between police brutality was the vaccine as
I
well.
believe that wearing masks is not going to spread a virus. Like, how stupid are you people retarded?
Oh,
Why do you have to wear
by
a
the way,
mask if you
that's a
take a
slur,
vaccine?
so I have to get rid of you. But what I am going to say is tell your surgeon the next time that he's doing open heart surgery on you to sneeze into your chest cavity. Okay. See if masks work or not. Because people didn't drop dead before that 4-year span of time. People didn't just drop dead. Dude, you slurred. You're done today. Don't fucking slur. You could have kept going. It would have been fine. I would have waited for somebody to pay to get rid of you. It would have been fine. W's to Raina, though, for the $5 for I will always pay for women's labor. Love you, Monty. Love you, Raina. Guys, brings us down to 40. Y'all are so unwell when it comes to fucking vaccines. It's not even funny. You guys are so fucking brainwashed and gone. Just gone. Can we finish this last minute of this interview or not?
But it is even more important.
There was an increase of heart issues. Yeah. Also attributed to COVID, right, Mia? Like, yeah, because you know what else gives you fucking heart palpitations and cardiac arrhythmias? Fucking COVID did.
That these kids go to school. That they, in no way, shape, or form
I didn't run, Glock. He said a slur. I don't allow slurs on my platform if you think that's running.
should this show or any other show like it perpetuate the idea that they're sending their kids to school is worse because there's going to be some health risk there when it's just not true, right? If you want to protect your kids from those preventable diseases, vaccinate your kids. I've been very, very clear about that. But it is a mistake And it contributes to the lack of public trust if you sort of fearmonger around, oh, if you send your kids to school, well, you might be around unvaccinated kids. That's a tremendous mistake, right? If you vaccinate your kids, you can protect your kids from those risks, whatever they are. In any case.
Right, but unvaccinated children can lead to mutations and spread to kids that are vaccinated. Because guess what, guys? Don't know if you know this. Shocker. I know you listened to that last caller. Vaccines don't stop you from getting diseases. They prevent spread and mutation. That's why you can still get the fucking flu when you get a flu vaccine. Holy shit.
It's better to send the kids to school because that's how you keep kids healthy.
Yes. We want to send our kids to school.
But now addressing what happened in 2020 is part of that. If you want to say why there's this loss of public trust, you have to really wrap your arms around that.
But you trust the science and the health workers and the vaccines now is what I understood you were saying. And so that is the message that I think
science. I've looked at the scientific evidence and there's lots. I personally have made decisions for my family around those lines too. So
that's good to know.
So yes, he vaccinates his kids. Love that. W's. Thank you. Crap, I lost the other one. I apologize for that. Thank you, Scott, for the $2 super chat for, is there a vaccine for pre-ejaculation? I don't know. It's not on my screen. I fucking lost it, and I'm mad that I lost it, but so I can't bring it on the screen. I wish that I could. It's annoying that I can't. But thank you to SNAR, is it SNAR, for the $50 super chat. You said, how can anyone think critically sorry, let me start over. How can anyone who thinks critically still support Trump? This guy, IQ of 70. Yeah. So thank you. Huge W's. I want to see huge W's at least in the YouTube chat for sure. For the $50 and for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. I usually am able to show it on the screen, but the chat moved really fast. They do not seem to like this conversation at all today. It made them very, very mad. I need to put the doc back. That's what I need to put the doc back in my OBS for that probably.
Sending our kids to school is the best way to keep them healthy is wild because you know when our kids get sick?
When they go to school?
Yeah. That part.
Have they gotten sick at all this summer, babe?
No, but I bet you a fucking weekend.
Fucking say that. Where's wood? God damn it.
That's not wood.
It's true.
But yeah, that's a hot take. I want to remember chickenpox party. Exactly.
Literally, my mom had me rub calamine lotion on my brothers who had it so that I would catch it. Because she was like, let's just get it fucking over with. Which is insanity that we did that.
You haven't seen chickenpox ever since, vaccines for chickenpox either, so. All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Somebody will get you. Or you'll get yourself this time. Okay. So we watched that. Now, let's go to what I said we were going to talk about. That happened yesterday. Trump signs executive order calling for fewer childhood vaccines, falsely linking shots to autism. That's a great picture. I'm going to have to remember that for the thumbnail. President Donald Trump on Monday signed an executive order backing fewer routine vaccines for kids, calling to whittle down the number of recommended childhood shots to 11, while falsely tying immunizations to autism. The order builds on the Trump administration's efforts to reshape the childhood shot schedule under Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic. This updated recommendation finally aligns the United States with other advanced and developed nations around the world, Trump said during a briefing on Monday. More importantly, it aligns us with common sense and knowledge. So stupid. He also falsely tied vaccines to autism, suggesting multiple times that rising rates of childhood shots have led to an increase in autism diagnosis. We have no proof of this. Decades of scientific evidence has shown no link between autism and childhood vaccine. Decades! Jesus! He also called for splitting the combination measles, mumps, and rubella, or MMR vaccine, into 3 separate single disease shots. The MMR, we want to have separate visits, separate times, the vaccine being broken into 3 separate single doses, and vaccines being administered in separate visits. The order also directs the Department of Justice to investigate where states are in violation of exemptions for childhood vaccine mandates, including parental authority and disability accommodations, as well as religious and medical reasons. It means more shots. Yeah, it means more shots. Also, yeah. It's not the first time the administration has taken aim at the MMR vaccine and the related MMRV shot, which adds the varicella vaccine to inoculate against chickenpox. Last year, a key vaccine advisory panel to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention also weakened recommendations for the MMRV shot for children under 4. But some health experts say that splitting up the shot raises the chance of missed appointments and skipped immunizations because it requires more doctor's visits. On top of the fact that we don't do it. Bro. Get some fucking help. Get some fucking help. I don't know why I didn't do that already, to be honest. Okay. Speaking to reporters after signing the order, Trump acknowledged it may be hard for some parents to take a child to the doctor multiple times, but argued it would be worth it. It's inconvenient. It's 5 stops, but it's something that I think will have a huge impact on autism. Again, no proof. There is no scientific evidence that combining the shots leads to higher risk of autism. Asked if he has any concerns about parents being able to afford multiple copays for doctor's visits, Trump said, "We're going to work with the families to help them afford the costs," without saying specifically how. Shocker. In 2 weeks, you'll find out. The White House also confirmed that changes in vaccine recommendations would not change insurance coverage for the shots. They can't guarantee that. By the way, they can't guarantee that. I don't know how the White House thinks they're going to be able to control insurance companies and their ability to cover vaccines, because insurance companies cover vaccines based off of the recommendation rate. And by changing that, it's going to change the insurance. He can't say that. Trump's executive order comes as the U.S. logs its worst year for measles infections in decades. Vaccination rates for children have fallen since the COVID-19 pandemic, because you all are a bunch of idiots. I'm sure that I'll get to it in a minute. I don't know if I have anything actually on it. But, by the way, also this conversation around separating the MMR, we don't do that. We don't have any separate individual vaccines that are FDA approved in this country right now, just so you know. So what that means is that parents are going to find out that we don't have an individual measles shot, that we don't have an individual mumps shot, and we don't have an individual rubella shot that are approved by the FDA for use. And they're going to say, fine, I just won't vaccinate my kids. Because you guys are idiots. So there's that. So that was their reporting on it. Yes, I have the actual one. I'm not really going to read through it because he's going to talk about it anyway, so there's no need. But from the actual whitehouse.gov, the fact sheet, President Donald J. Trump delivers gold standard childhood vaccine recommendations for Americans. And you can read through it. It's pretty short, but again, he reads through it, so I don't need to, but it'll be in the outline for you in case you want it. So here's part of that he reads out as we continue on.
So at year 1, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all in the same day.
And I would also ask, what's the schedule on that? So, again, we don't offer it. But let's say we did. You would have to have 5 separate visits. Between what time? So you get your first one. How long until you get the second one? How long until you get the third one? I don't know. Do you guys know what it's like to fucking make appointments? Granted, getting vaccines tends to be a little bit easier because a lot of times you can just do what is called like the outpatient lab, right? You can just call them, say, make an appointment for the lab, go in, get it done, get out. But the problem is if you make this a recommendation for everybody, that is going to bog down the lab. And it's going to make it a lot more difficult, and people just will choose to not vaccinate their kids.
Importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others.
Talk already? Nope, just double checking. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
You know who this is. Can we speak?
I don't know who this is.
I have a presidential pardon.
Who are you?
This is Randy. I have.
You made another number after I blocked it, bro. Get help, man. Get fucking help, bro. How many numbers do I have to block? Like, you guys don't understand consent. MAGA, you're with that? You're okay with that? This man has literally called me from 4 or 5 different fucking numbers now, including one time where he pretended to be someone else, sounding like a femme-presenting person in order to call me, and then switched over his voice to sound like him. Do you guys okay with that? I have made it known. I withdraw consent to speak to Randy. Can you guys all hold that same standard? Yeah, Tasty Cake, I give you that. You don't hide from me, you know, but you're always you. Which, by the way, hi, Tasty Cake, bye, Tasty Cake. But at least you're honest. about who you are here every single day. You guys okay with that? Or are you going to call him out in the YouTube chat and say, hey, Randy, we might disagree with her, but cut that out. Cut it the fuck out.
Are no longer recommended for all children. In addition, this executive order directs the Attorney General to advance legal challenges against states that violate children's rights to religious or medical vaccination exemptions for the exemptions.
States don't do that. So what are we talking about? So that's him reading from it because he has to read from it because he doesn't know what it is. And then I have another one from him.
More importantly, it aligns us with common sense and knowledge. Decades ago, children received only a small fraction of the vaccines required today. In those times, people...
Yeah. And then the science evolved, right? Like, this man is permanently living in the 80s. Well, we didn't get that many back then. Yeah. And more kids got sick. It's better now because science evolved. Oh, no.
We're much healthier, and of course, the high rates of autism now observed did not exist. So there's a reason for such epidemic rates of autism.
And it's not the vaccines. He is trying to correlate the vaccines to the increase in being able to diagnose autism. He's lying to you. There's nothing that proves that.
And we're going to bring it back to much closer to where it was. Well, we do not know exactly what the cause is with respect to autism. It is essential to our research efforts that we have the very best vaccine recommendations in the entire world. So we're reducing them. We're changing it to visits over a period of a year and a half. So they get 20-year-old more important.
Over a year and a half. It's a lot of fucking time to be able to get these fucking vaccines when you can just safely, there's no evidence that MMR is unsafe. You could just do it now. Okay, we're not done. We're going to continue, but thank you so much, Patrick, for the $5. You said this recent aversion to vaccines amounts to a mass brain cramp. What's become of our education? I agree, Patrick. It's disgusting. It's truly disgusting to see what they've done to this country in way of science. Like, if you want to be critical of science, be critical of science. I would ask you to be critical of anything, but at least read it. At least know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, why can't you do that? Why is that so hard? Bored. Thank you for the $10 super chat. The lib left versus DSA discourse is exhausting. Thank you for staying focused on the real enemy of America. Yeah, you know, it's tiring. I do talk about that from time to time, but only to say that the Democratic establishment needs to get their shit together in way of what the people want to see. But I would agree with you. We need to focus on how important this shit is. Or dumb this shit is. So Donald Trump and the things that he says. Thank you, Scott, again for the $5 super chat. MAGA should get the anti-stupid vaccine. When they create one, they are not going to get it. Can somebody explain to me what the fuck he's talking about with this, by the way?
I saw this early on, and I've seen proof of it, where they have a vaccination thing, looks like the size of a bottle of soda, poured into a little child's body.
Tell me you've never been with your kids when they've gotten vaccinated without telling me. He's never been in that room, which, by the way, I don't have that video, but they did ask him, were you there? And he's like, yeah, I was there. You didn't go to your own son's wedding. You damn sure were not in the room when your kids were getting vaccinated. There's something the size of a soda bottle.
Early on, and I've seen proof of it, where they have a vaccination thing, looks like the size of a bottle of soda, poured into a little child's body. And bad things happen in too many cases, because this is an explosion. This is an epidemic. So at year one...
It's not. It's just that we have seen a higher rate of diagnosis of autism. It's not related to vaccines. He's a fucking liar.
You should have 5 separate visits.
And then this I already played, so that just plays what I played at the very, 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 very beginning. We'll get into it. Wild.
That's not a vaccine. That's just Mountain Dew, and it's so your kid gets jacked up like a spider monkey.
Jacked up like a spider monkey. And on the third day, God created the Remington bolt-action rifle so he could fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals. That's what they sound like. They do sound like that. So then Trump was asked, like, we've heard you say that MMR is lethal. the vaccine itself is lethal. Do you still believe that? Are you still endorsing that?
I think I heard you say that the MMR vaccine for measles, mumps, and rubella is quite lethal. Is there any evidence of that?
What I've heard is that there.
Oh no, there's not any evidence of that. No.
Of that?
What I've heard is that there are some people that say it is that way, and I say, well, let's say there's a 5% chance of it. Let's split it up.
That's dumb. They say. Who is they, by the way? Who is the they that is saying that MMR is lethal in any way and it's 5% lethal rate? That you would have to split it up? No? Okay.
Because they do say that given individual MMR, that given individual, there is no impact. In fact, they've said how safe it seems to be. But I've heard when you put them together, they can be explosive. Yeah.
Why do I have a hate speech flag? I didn't do anything. Stop. I didn't do anything. Leave me alone.
Have you spoken with the new Attorney General or Jeanine Pirro about prosecuting Dr. Fauci?
So, and he goes off about that, which I don't care about. Okay. What I'm going to do, because I don't want to lose my platform, I'm going to restart on TikTok. Okay? Sound good to everybody? I'm going to restart on TikTok. Twitch, YouTube, you're fine. Stay right where you are. But we are going to restart on TikTok real quick, just to ensure for the sanity of my platform. Be right back. Come back. No, the likes. It's okay. Where are we at? So we can remember 174. We're going to put them at 174. So then whatever you guys get, I'll add on to and it'll count for me. Okay, fine. Be right back. Okay, so do that. Go live again. Start over. TikTok's so sensitive. Okay. Connect back. Get rid of all those likes, unfortunately. But in here, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. And we're back. We have an emoji dance break in Twitch. That's good. We like that. All right, hold on. Gotta find myself again now. And we're back. Back. More crabs.
Oh my God, I have crabs.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. We bark. We back. Bark and back. If you're watching on YouTube while we wait for people to kind of come back to TikTok, if you could hit that thumbs up button for me, I would appreciate it if you have not already. I think there's little hearts you can tap in there too. I don't know that necessarily does anything, but I appreciate it. Constant engagement in the chat is great. Just continuing to boost the platform means a lot. I would appreciate it. Did you make a fucking TikTok account, Randy? Because I swear to God, that better not be you. Guys, make sure you are reposting and sharing out the live, adding it to your story. Now that we restarted, we should be able to do that before I have brought anything up on the screen, because I'm going to bring something up on the screen. So let's make sure that we are doing that, okay? Repost, add to story, do all the things so we can get going again, okay? Sound good? Do it now. I'll give you a minute or so as we get going here. I'll take a hydrate break. Robert Greene, what did I lie about? I'm totally willing to be corrected. Maybe I had information that was incorrect. Maybe of something I haven't seen. What did I lie about? Ask her to show you some facts, people. Some real facts, not bullshit hearsay. I'm not even playing hearsay. I'm playing what Donald Trump is saying. What are we... Waiting. No, nothing. Okay. All right. Hope you all reposted. I hope you all shared. Let's get to tap in once again. I appreciate it. We are well on our way. You guys are doing fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it. And we will keep going. I need to set. Hold on. Let me set. Go back. Set some goals for you here that are more easily attainable as we get restarted. That'd be a lot easier. Okay. So, Trump continuing to talk about the changes in the recommendation schedule, and he says this. You're not a MAGA? Okay, I'm just double checking.
Like the polio vaccine, it's amazing. Other vaccines, amazing. But some, there's questions about. We're going to figure it out. And I think we'll, the
Oh my
the
God, I have
expression is that
crabs.
we have really no choice. And nothing bad can happen from what we're doing. Nothing bad can happen.
A lot of bad can happen from what you're doing. A lot of bad. Parents choosing not to vaccinate their kids because you told them to separate it, and we don't have individual vaccines approved by the FDA right now to separate it, or parents not being able to get appointments to be able to do so for that separation of those vaccines, lowering the recommended immunizations for these children. A lot of bad can happen. It can only good happen. Yeah.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. It's possible it doesn't work. I don't think that's much of a possibility, frankly. We're going to learn a lot.
Robert, I love that you couldn't give me an actual example of what I lied about, and then just you said keep going, y'all are going to lose again. It's interesting that we flipped, 20 or 30% of the seats in the special elections in 2025, and the primaries are looking better than ever. Sweetie, the cope is tough. The cope is tough. Having a hard time with that one, aren't you? I don't like that you don't have a...
Oh.
Oh, sorry. It said somebody else. It didn't say you. It didn't say you. You can get back in the queue. I don't know why I brought you up. It showed like a... no, I know. It showed like a blank profile in the request that wasn't you. So I don't know why.
And we could get...
Weird.
If we could go back 20 years, 25 years, something happened in between that would lead us to the kind of numbers that we're seeing. So...
Yeah, diagnosis. Diagnosis led us to those numbers, Trump. Because you cannot show me a study other than, what, 1 or 2 people who are disavowed in the scientific community for that. So then Stephen Miller comes out, starts talking about this, and again, spewing all sorts of disinformation and misinformation in regards to the vaccine schedule. We're going to play this twice. It's only 52 seconds. We're going to play it twice. First time around, please, community, I'm asking you, listen to Stephen Miller and watch Stephen Miller and listen to the words that he's saying, and we can have that conversation. Then we're going to watch it again to watch somebody else.
Because of your courage and leadership, Mr. President, millions of parents...
As he falls asleep again. Don't watch him. We're not watching him at all, okay? Stephen Miller, focus on what he's saying.
all over America today are breathing an enormous sigh of relief. I say this as the parent of young children myself. Millions and millions of parents feel they've been pressured when their children are just weeks out of the hospital to take 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots all at once. They're told it'll be normal. Your kid will have a fever of 103 for 3 or 4 days. Your kid will stop eating for a week. Your kid's going to change all their sleeping. Don't worry, it's totally fine. It's totally normal.
Another man that has never been in a doctor's office when their child gets vaccinated. Never been there. 103-degree fever and it's fine? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Not eating for a week? Never been told that that was going to be a normal side effect from vaccines. A slight fever, sure. Yeah, 104 is hospital. Their brain starts fucking boiling. They said they might have a slight fever and that you can give them Tylenol. Not 103 degrees. No doctor ever fucking said that. They damn sure didn't say they were going to not eat for a week. Were they going to be sleepy and lethargic? Yeah, probably. They're tired. They said you can do a warm compress on the injection site. Yeah, they did say that.
Nobody has studied it. Nobody's looked at it. Nobody's thought about it. The pressure.
Now that one. Listen to that.
3 for 3 or 4 days. Your kid will stop eating for a week. Your kid's going to change all their sleeping. Don't worry, it's totally fine. It's totally normal. Nobody has studied it. Nobody's looked at it.
Nobody has studied the vaccine schedule. Nobody's looked at the vaccine schedule. How did they set it up? How did we get a recommended vaccine schedule for kids if nobody studied it or looked it up? He's actively lying to you. And you guys just take it. because you're so enwrapped in your misinformation that you'll believe whatever you want to believe.
Thought about it, the pressure from the pharmaceutical industry and from aspects of the medical industry to pump your kids full of shots days after birth with no understanding of the long-term consequences.
Bullshit! We know because we've studied. We do know the long-term consequences because we've studied. And we found that the benefit far outweighs any risk of having a majority of children vaccinated. They're fucking lying to you. Oh my God!
Has been a medical travesty. This is an issue, because
it's not. Now, we're going to watch it again. Now, I'm sure it's hard to sit and watch Stephen Miller because he is an anal polyp. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to not watch him, not watch Trump, who was nodding sleepily. I want you to watch who we just watched 15 minutes of. I want you to watch Bhattacharya's body movements when Stephen Miller starts spewing the bullshit. We've covered what the bullshit was. You guys should be well and familiar now with what he said that's bullshit. I want you to watch Bhattacharya's, that's this man, watch Bhattacharya's body language when Stephen Miller starts saying this.
because of your courage and leadership, Mr. President, millions of parents all over America today are breathing an enormous sigh of relief. I say this as the parent of young children myself. Millions and millions of parents feel they've been pressured when their children are just weeks out of the hospital to take 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots all at once. They're told it'll be normal.
What was that? 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots, 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor. What, did you see his face? He didn't even smirk. It was like an uncomfortable, like...
7 shots all at once. They're told it'll be normal.
That was one of those like, well, no.
Normal. Your kid will have a fever of 103 for 3 or 4 days. Your kid will stop eating for a week. Your kid's going to change all their sleep. Don't worry, it's totally fine. It's totally normal.
That, he is uncomfortable as fuck because he knows he's fucking lying. He's like, this motherfucker is really saying this shit right now. That's not true. None of that's fucking true. That's not fucking true.
It's going to change all their sleep. Don't worry, it's totally fine. It's totally normal. Nobody has studied it. Nobody's looked at it.
Yeah, he did adjust his glasses like, hold on, I go back.
3 or 4 days. Your kid will stop eating for a week. Your kid's going to change all their sleep. Don't worry, it's totally fine. It's totally normal. Nobody has studied it. Nobody's looked at it. Nobody's thought about it. The pressure from the pharmaceutical industry and from aspects of the medical industry to pump your kids full of shots days after birth with no understanding of the long-term consequences has been a medical travesty. This is an...
That man froze in real time. He froze in real time. He's like, fuck. He's like, 103 degrees. Your child would be dead. You better be going to the fucking ER. If your child has a 103 degree fever, go to the ER.
Oh, you got rid of the clip. You got rid of the clip already. This is perhaps what drives me most crazy about his Oval Office isn't the gold.
Oh my God.
It's when Abraham Lincoln bowed his head and launched those fighter jets in Gettysburg.
Abe Lincoln made the sacrifice to bow his head. And there's also, what is that? Is that like a missile of some kind underneath? Oh, you can't see it because of my screen. Damn. But there's like a submarine underneath it too.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, sorry, bye.
Fucking man. That was such a man fucking thing to do. The planes! But there's planes! I want to talk about the planes! Yes, and also Donald Trump is falling asleep. There's also that aspect to it that was happening. Okay. Let's keep going. I just wanted to show you that. It's a little experiment in critical thinking versus what Stephen Miller said, what Bhattacharya was like. Was that Mia who said that's when he realized he was he was misaligned? Yeah, he's like, ugh. Oh, God. But real quick before we get into that, W's to D-Man. I know that that's you now. If I can remember is going to be the thing. But W's to D-Man for the $35 for completing out the rest of the goal. Thank you so much, guys, for working together on that. For my grifty little self, as MAGA likes to say, that I'm here and I should get a job and that I'm grifting. I think $150 for 3 hours isn't that bad of a gig. Not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe they're just jealous. It could just be that. But thank you. I appreciate it. So, Senator Bill Cassidy came out after the EO was written. Senator Cassidy is a doctor. Senator Cassidy voted for RFK Jr. to be confirmed to the HHS. We'll talk about that. You need to yell at me. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Can we please be civil about this?
No, because you're banned. Can we be civil about you need to respect consent,
I have
Randy?
a presidential. How much?
You have a presidential pardon for my consent? That's not how that works. The president doesn't get to decide my consent. You need to yell. Is this you? Because, again, it's coming up as like, now it's showing you. It's weird. You came up as like a regular profile picture. Hello, why?
I'm going to yell at you because you sitting there saying $50 an hour for your labor. That's fucking bullshit. Because let's be so fucking for real. This is an all day thing for Monty. Like, because things are happening literally all day. So collecting all of those things, putting them into an outline that is organized for you all to be able to follow and still somehow, some way, because of your comprehension and capability, you still cannot follow. However, these things still flow. So it's so much more than just her being up here for 3 hours. It's also her making sure that you all are well informed and you have opposing views. She actually sits here and gets fucking cyber stalked by a weirdo.
Dude, that does happen.
So it's so much more than just like for 3 hours. This is an all day thing. Articles all day. Videos all day. Dealing with me all fucking day.
I love you. Don't say
I love you
that.
too.
I don't deal with you. I'm always like, I haven't heard
However,
from Mia.
I need you all to understand that, on top of that, there are still videos, there are still clips, there's still editing. It doesn't stop at just like her coming up here. It's not like she's sitting up here and just like, yeah, President Trump sucks.
Which, by the way,
What now?
totally forgot to edit my video last night. Like, I had it all clipped. I just hadn't added the captions and shit. Totally forgot. Woke up to my alarm this morning. I was like, I have 30 minutes to get this done. And I was like,
Did you know you have 30 minutes?
Did you know you have 30 minutes? Like, legitimately, I was in bed, woke up, and I was like, oh, shit, I need a video scheduled for 7.
So it's so much more than just like, it's more than 3 hours. So I'm yelling at you because you need to make sure that you know that you are doing more work than just whatever's within this fucking 3 hours.
Thank you for that reminder. I needed that.
And other people need to acknowledge that shit too. My skin pet is calling.
Love you. Did you know you have 30 minutes? Okay, so Senator Bill Cassidy is a doctor. He voted to confirm RFK Jr., and it's going to be his legacy. He can sit here and say what he wants and cry about how he has been in these hollowed halls and made the biggest decisions for the United States. His legacy is going to be the fact that he confirmed RFK Jr. He's going to have to live with that. So he wrote he wrote a tweet about the EO, and it says this. I'm a doctor. This executive order is wrong. The president does not have the expertise to make these changes. Vaccines are overwhelmingly safe. Vaccines are effective. Vaccines do not cause autism. Breaking up vaccines will mean children have to get more shots to get the same protection, not fewer shots. It will increase hesitancy and make children less safe. Parents should listen to their child's pediatrician about vaccines rather than listening to an inaccurate executive order. This is so wrong. You did this. You did this. This is on you. And you know how we know it's on you? Because we have the fucking proof for it. This was your vote to confirm RFK Jr. He's walking up to them counting it. Thumbs up.
Mr.
Yep.
Cassidy. Aye.
That was you, my guy. That was you. Did you forget?
Mr. Cassidy. Aye.
That's your legacy. It's not going to be as cool as McCain's was, but that's your legacy now. That's your legacy. Now I have reactions and some pushback. First, I'm going to go to what I listened to this morning, which, by the way, I'm going to reach out Mia. Well, duh, Mia. But then some others in the community I will find where the clip starts in the podcast that I listened to this morning. Ooh, I have some words for those motherfucking libs. God damn it. So I love Pod Save America, but there are plenty of times where I don't love them. The amount of times that me and my husband both have unfollowed and refollowed them, I can't even tell you. Because they have good takes, they do good interviews, but sometimes they are just fucking capitalist, shill-ass fucking libs that are scared of change, and it's really fucking annoying. So I have something that I want to get into on that. We won't get into it today. I would rather it be some sort of panel discussion, to be honest, because it's more concerning the left than it is concerning MAGA in and of itself. But this portion, I liked. John Lovett went off. You agree? Yes, Surgeon W. And that's almost the nuance that we need to talk about, right? Like, we don't have to cancel Pod Save outright. We just need to call them out for their bullshit, because this was a good segment. John Lovett crashing out about this vaccine-eo was a good segment. So that I am going to play.
Large amounts of, like, vats of vaccine are currently pumped into your child's body. You know, there are some groups that have virtually no problem with autism. And I have to say this, they're groups that aren't big into the world of vaccines.
One surprise addition to the White House schedule on Monday, an executive order on childhood vaccines. The order changes.
I swear to God. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
You know who this is.
Dude, get fucking help. Get fucking help, my man. MAGA, are you going to call him out or no? Because I haven't seen you guys do it yet. This man has made now 7 different phone numbers to be able to call me, including hiding who he is to call me.
That shit's bordering criminal activity.
Well, I can report him to Google Voice, and I can report him to the police.
Like, that shit is fucking creepy, bro. Get your shit together.
It will.
Find somebody new to harass on the internet.
So I will. I'll just write down, I'll start writing down the phone numbers. We have all the video evidence because my lives stay recorded. So we'll just get all the evidence. I might need my community's help to try to gather those clips.
Now Ruben is fun.
Yeah, well, because Ruben comes in, makes a comment, gets muted, but Ruben just disagrees with me, but he doesn't mean me any harm. Ruben doesn't DM me privately trying to get my attention. Ruben doesn't do that. Tasty Cake doesn't do those things. Like, me and Tasty Cake disagree, like, fundamentally, but he doesn't do that.
But
Ruben doesn't do that. Huh?
Yeah, they take it in stride. You know how many accounts Ruben could have made by now?
Right. Ruben's been muted for a while. And he doesn't make new
because not everyone's a fucking creep like Randy.
Just move on. I don't want to talk to you. Go find another stream. I can recommend you some. You can actually go speak to some men. Leave the women alone. Do you want me to recommend you some men? Because they don't get enough fucking, as we go. We've got Doug. We've got Seth. We've got Santana. We've got Oscar. We've got Matt. We've got Joey. We've got RTP. Take your fucking pick. Try it with them.
Does Cass need any pro bono legal work?
Cass need any pro bono legal work?
All right, bye.
All right, bye. That's my husband. Stay the fuck away from me. It's fucking weird, bro. It's fucking weird, my man. God damn. Let me do my job.
The federal government's official guidance about which vaccines kids should get and how soon, on the completely unproven theory that combining different vaccines into single doses and administering several vaccines in a single doctor visit, which has happened for decades, might cause autism. Specifically, the EO calls for the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, called the MMR, to be given as 3 different shots, even though they're not available separately. It asks states to revisit vaccine mandates, which is their choice, and it pares down the group of vaccines that should be recommended for all kids, taking Hep A and B vaccines, the flu vaccine, and the COVID vaccine off that list. The U.S. passed all of 2025's measles total by July so far of this year, and now we're going to be telling kids and families to split the shots up somehow, which will mean more missed visits.
What do you think happens if you tell everybody they have to go to the doctor 3 times instead of 1 time? You can answer the question. There are countries that have done this. I think Japan split up the MMR vaccine, and what do you end up with? You end up with outbreaks of mumps and rubella.
So what he's talking about is that in Japan, they split up the vaccine, the MMR vaccine in Japan, and then they saw a rise in mumps and rubella cases. Shocker. Why? Because people aren't going to go for these separated vaccines. They will just get vaccinated less.
Like, that's just what happens. Being alive is already challenging. We don't need to put it on hard mode. Like, that is what this is. Like, vaccines are a miracle. This is all based on false science. Because they think of vaccines as somehow harmful, even though there's no evidence that they are harmful. In fact, they are one of the great miracles of modern life. They have changed the world. They've made being a parent a very different experience than what it would have been 100 years ago. When other countries don't give kids vaccines, they react by saying, can you believe it? We're giving our kids more vaccines. Yes, that's cool. They're not willing to spend on some of those vaccines. They're not willing to add them to the schedule. They're rationing fucking healthcare over there in Europe. The Danes are rationing the healthcare. We're giving more vaccines than they are. And part of the reason we have to do that is because our health system is so much fucking worse that we don't catch a bunch of stuff that they might catch in a universal system. And so when you remove some...
Right. So part of their reasoning, the Trump administration's reasoning to lower the vaccine schedule is, well, other countries don't give as many. Right. But other countries choose not to or can't afford to or for whatever reason, but they also have universal health care and their health outcomes are better because people are able to preventatively care for their children. We have a shit-ass healthcare system. We have a shit-ass country that allows the horrible health outcomes that we have. And so we need to prevent that. And the way that we prevent that here is by giving more vaccines. Because it works. And we know it works.
These vaccines and say what could happen. Well, what's going to happen is there's going to be a bunch of kids that get Hep B. There's going to be a bunch of kids that don't get vaccinated for rotavirus or what have you. And they're going to get sick in that window because the doctors that recommend these vaccines and recommend them happening when kids are born or early on are not fucking malicious. They're not looking to harm kids. They're not sadists. They know that if you increase the window, if you cause more delays, if people don't show up to the doctor, inside of that group of kids are people that are going to get hurt, maybe permanently injured, maybe die. That is what's going to happen. I'm bummed about it.
And he also went off, I don't have that clip, but he also went off about this idea that it's some sort of malicious capitalist machine of doctors trying to promote vaccines in order to get paid. And it's just stupid. It's just dumb. People go into healthcare. Thank you so much, Raina.
Oh my God, I have crabs.
I have crabs. People go into healthcare to help people. They go in to help people. You think they want to go through years and years of grueling school, of doing fucking residencies for the money? Yeah, the money also happens. But they do this because they fucking care. And to tie this malicious intent and this capitalistic intent onto our healthcare system is disgusting. And it's not what we're seeing. I don't want to ruin your perfect 269 follower. Let's make it around 270. Listen, it's okay. Thank you, Brick Griff. I appreciate that. So then CNN did some reporting. So much for protecting women and children. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. So then CNN did some reporting, which they're not going to listen to because it's CNN. So.
And good evening. I'm Erin Burnett. And out front tonight, the breaking news: Trump upending vaccines for American children. Here's what he's announcing tonight. He's signing an executive order that says that core crucial vaccines, including for hepatitis, are no longer recommended for children, setting America back and putting lives at risk. And it seems all because of a false belief that vaccines are tied to autism.
Decades ago, children received only a small fraction of the vaccines required today. In those times, people were much healthier, and of course, the high rates of autism now observed did not exist. So there's a reason for such epidemic rates of autism.
Well, there may be a reason, but it's not vaccines. Independent researchers have conducted more than 40 studies involving over 5.6 million people. And the conclusion, again and again and again, is that there is no link. The facts and the science on this particular issue when it comes to vaccines are clear. As Republican Senator Bill Cassidy posted, "I'm a doctor. This executive order is wrong. Autism and vaccines aren't linked, and yet The chief science officer for the Autism Science Foundation came out and spoke. The quote there, vaccines have 1,000% been exonerated. And yet, here is President Trump today.
I saw this early on, and I've seen proof of it, where they have a vaccination thing, looks like the size of a bottle of soda poured into...
Bearded, the problem is, no, he didn't ban anyone. The problem with changing the recommendation schedule is that it can change the insurance coverage as well, which we haven't even talked about. The White House is saying that they're guaranteeing that the insurance coverage doesn't change, but they can't guarantee that. So unless there's legislation to ensure that that doesn't change, they can't do that. So insurance, if it's not recommended, the insurance might not cover it to a higher degree like they do now. That is an issue. That is a problem. Also, separating MMR is not possible in this country right now because we do not have individual measles, mumps, or rubella that is approved by the FDA for use. So what that means is that parents will have a choice of doing MMR or nothing. And a lot of them, because you guys don't listen to science, will do nothing. Yes, you will have more co-pays because if you have to have more visits to do MMR, even if we did have an individual vaccine that was approved, you will have to do more visits. That's a copay, a copay, a copay, a copay for 5 separate visits. Excuse me, a copay. One more. For 5 separate visits. You still have a choice. States have exemptions. You have a choice. I'm in Colorado. We have one of the highest exemption rates in the country. We have one of the lowest vaccination rates in the country because of our exemptions here in Colorado. So they still have a choice. But follow the actual fucking science. Didn't Fauci say in his diary the vax wasn't safe for pregnant women? No, he asked a question and the science later showed that it was not an issue. Right? Still kick in? Let's be honest. I know that that's your guys' new talking point, by the way. The Pod Save Bros talked about that too. That's your new talking point. He wrote in his diary that the vaccine wasn't safe for pregnant women. No, he didn't. He asked the question about studying it. And they studied it, and it was safe.
A little child's body.
Now, that's nonsense. All of us parents know that. A vaccination that's the size of a soda bottle, I mean, that's a lot. That's silly and insane, right?
You think that much is getting vaccinated into your children? Tell me you've never been in that room with your kids getting vaccinated. Tell me you've never been there.
And by the way, Trump, when it came out to, what this is, how much? Well, this is the soda bottle, and we got actually a little syringe here just so everybody could see it. So we can just for purposes of accuracy here, my eyes aren't so good, but I will show you the soda bottle that the President of the United States is referring to, and the single dose 0.5 ml in one MMR vaccine, the one that has been falsely accused of being linked to autism.
So do this yourself. I would, we're doing fucking Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Do some Bill Nye the Science Guy science at your house. Take a bottle of soda. Take some water, whatever you want to use. I don't give a fuck. Put some food coloring in it. I don't care. Get yourself a syringe. If you don't have one, you obviously don't have kids. Get yourself a syringe and start measuring out the milliliters that are given to your kids per each vaccine in the schedule that they're given. See if that seems unreasonable to you versus the safety of these vaccines for your kids. You could add up all the vaccines that would not fill that syringe. Right.
There you go.
Raina, my mom is from Michigan. My mom was born and raised in Lansing, and she actually calls it soda now because she was around my father and around us for so long. And here in Colorado, I know, yeah, that you guys call it pop. That's weird to me. I don't call it pop, but I do say mom though.
Trump's dose, reality, they're pretty different.
You guys don't live in reality. Shocker. You guys don't live in reality.
Well, Trump was asked then, where are you getting your information? So here's what he said.
I think I heard you say that the MMR vaccine for measles, mumps, and rubella is quite lethal. Is there any evidence of that?
What I've heard is that there are some people that say it is that way. I've heard when you put them together, they can be explosive.
Some people is not science.
She's so fed up. I love this for her. She's so fed. Erin Burnett's like, this bitch.
Some people is just what you hear people saying. And in this case, it's not true.
Yeah, some people means nothing. He says this a lot. Well, some people say. Who? Name them.
True. And yet, because of what some people are saying that have gotten into the president's brain, the entire vaccine schedule is being upended.
Very importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others, are no longer recommended for all children.
Now, vaccines save lives. I want to show you a chart. This middle chart we'll show you is from a paper that was published in the medical journal, The Lancet. What you're looking at here, I can boil down very simply. It estimates that 9 billion years of life for human beings have been gained thanks to just some vaccines that you see listed there in different colors. 9 billion years. Well, that's something Elon Musk should be just championing and jumping up and down about, right? I mean, the vaccine that's responsible for the most life years gained is actually measles. And vaccine skepticism on that has caused the United States to shatter a record. Nearly 2,500 cases this year, 2,500. If you look at that chart, it tracks them.
Do you see this? 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 is below that because 2022 was a little higher. 2024. Do you see how we were at like a flat line? Fucking flat line. 2020, flat line for measles cases. 2025, we start to shoot up. In 2026, even more so. Where do you think that came from? Just all of a sudden? Oh, you know what it was? The measles all got together and conspired to go against Trump because they hate Trump. That's what it was, right, MAGA? It wasn't the disinformation on the vaccines? Sure.
So far, there have been more measles cases this year so far than the past 25 combined. I mean, measles was basically declared eradicated thanks to vaccines. Now, Trump and his
Now, she would be wrong. As we learned, CDC declared it eliminated.
HHS Secretary RFK Jr., who of course is a longtime vaccine skeptic, are now undermining the success and all those life years gained from these vaccines. They're on a mission to question vaccines in America.
How are you doing on the autism research?
We will have an answer for you. We just
That's so important.
There's nothing to get, but that hasn't stopped them from tying vaccines to autism and a lot of other things for years and years.
The child, a beautiful child, went to have the vaccine and came back and a week later got a tremendous fever, got very, very sick, now is autistic.
Well, I do believe that autism does come from vaccines.
There are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism.
Fucking what? And there's people who take all the vaccines and all the pills and do what? Like what? That also don't have autism. What? Yeah, and how does he know? What? What?
That have no autism.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Bullshit.
That's one of the most infamous lines ever said by RFK Jr.
Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked because y'all are idiots. You really are. Like, you really are. So you have a couple doctors, this one in particular, who speaks out against this EO.
What's your reaction to these major changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, including how...
Oh, I love this. Actually, that's perfect. Thank you, Big. I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor, but this guy is.
What's your reaction to these major changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, including how many immunizations are recommended for a child's earliest years?
Jake, I think the idea that the President of the United States would make these changes based on what he feels, flying in the face of decades of science, it's absolutely unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like this in my career. I practiced pediatrics for over 30 years and would always count on the recommendations that came from the expert committee that advised the CDC to ensure that what I was doing was safe, was effective, and I could go forward to my patients with confidence and make a recommendation. what the president has done here is he's making another attempt to put forward a
mods that are in the YouTube chat, will you get who is it? Get Steve Rogers and Nostradamus, or was it Nostradamus? No, Steve Rogers and yes, Nostradamus. Will you get them for me, please? We do not do anti-Semitism in the chat. Thank you.
a vaccine schedule that's based on the Secretary of Health's wild ideas about what should be. And it leaves our children.
Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
41. I'm from Texas, and I didn't vote for Republican or Democrat because they're both evil, and the vaccines are not safe.
And what's your proof for that?
My proof are the studies that have been done.
Which one?
Especially with the mRNA. You ever checked out the Okoro study?
Hold on one second. We can type that in. I just need to update this real quick. How do you spell that?
OKORO.
Okay. Study on what specifically?
mRNA vaccines, the ones for COVID.
Emmanuel Okoro Enyi. Can I go specific? He's talking about malaria. So what would that have to do with the COVID vaccine?
No. They did mRNA vaccines for COVID. Literally, they did the study. It's not for malaria. It's for COVID.
Analyzed World Health Organization data from 2020-23. It claimed a paradoxical rise in global COVID-19 mortality tracking alongside high vaccination coverage. Mainstream epidemiologists heavily criticized the paper for misinterpreting ecological correlations and failing to adjust for confounding variables like age and baseline health risks. So they did a correlation causation fallacy?
That wasn't a fallacy, it was a fact, and they covered it up and they lied
correlation,
about it.
you would have to prove correlation does not equal causation. You would have to prove that. They didn't.
They proved it.
They did not prove it.
But here's the problem. You have the CIA, the FBI, the World Health Organization covering up for Google. Who work for Google,
covering up for
and
Google.
the
I'm pulling
AI.
out. Bruh. Stop.
Did you Google it? You Googled it, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I Googled it to start. Except
Exactly.
I don't want to reject cookies.
Google shadow bans the true information, right?
You mean this one? You mean the paradoxical increase in global 19 deaths with vaccination coverage? They hid this from me? They hid it from me? It was right fucking here. They hid it? Oh wow, they hid it. They did such a good job. They did such a good job hiding it that it was number 3. They did such a good job hiding it that it was number 3 in the search. They did such a good job hiding it that it was number 3 in the search.
Don't make me go on the chat and share the link with you.
I have it right here. Emmanuel Okoro.
That is not the link. That is not the study, man.
Paradoxical increase in global 19 deaths with vaccination coverage. World Health Organization estimates. Which one?
The Okoro study, the real Okoro study. Trust me, you're gonna be very disappointed.
Emmanuel Okoro.
No, not Okoro.
Yes.
The actual Africans who did the study about the
is
whole
Emmanuel
world who took those
Okoro.
vaccines,
Oh my
and the
God, you
numbers
don't know
that
how to
went up,
cite
and
studies.
And the deaths that increased from the actual vaccine.
Paradoxical? Hello, I have it on the screen. Paradoxical increase in global COVID-19 deaths with vaccination coverage. World Health Organization estimates 2020 to 2023.
Let me ask you a question. How many vaccines did you take of the COVID vaccine?
I already answered this question. I said that I got the initial,
I'm new. I'm just coming in.
And I think I can't even remember at this point. I think I got 2 or 3 boosters. My children have gotten all of them.
Why would you do that?
Because the science showed that it was safe.
You
and
have
I trusted
to
the
stop
science.
trusting people, ma'am.
No, the science showed that it was safe.
Research.
We're going to go through your study now,
can't
so you can
depend
cry.
on
So
them.
the results, COVID-19 deaths increased with vaccination coverage, ranging from 43.3% Africa to 1,275% Western Pacific. The Western Pacific 1.5% and Africa 3.8% regions contributed least to the global cumulative COVID-19 deaths pre-vaccines, while the Americas 49.9% and Europe 27.6% had the highest counts. The Americas 39.8% and Europe 34.1% accounted for less than 70% of global COVID-19 deaths despite high vaccination, and the percentage increase in COVID-19 mortality and the percentage of persons less than 65 years were significantly correlated, 0.48 in Africa. Conclusion: COVID-19 mortality increased in the vaccination era, especially in regions with higher vaccination coverage. Oh, more people died during COVID-19. How did they correlate that to vaccination specifically? Correlated to vaccinations. Prove that it
That's
was
not
because
true.
of
More people-
vaccinations that they died versus people were just dying from COVID.
There you go.
Prove
And
that.
That's why. There's
No,
more people.
prove that people
The study
died.
proves
No,
it.
you're not
That's what I'm
listening.
telling you.
You're not
Whatever
listening.
you're reading,
You're not
I don't know
listening.
what you're reading, but that's not true because they actually studied. The study proved
Bro,
that they
this is the
actually
guy you
died
cited.
more
Okay, I have a
after they got the
brand new
vaccine.
tab open. I have a brand new tab open. If you have the study, read me the hyperlink. Read me the title of the study and the people who did it.
Give me a second, because now I got to pull this crap up.
Yep, read the title of the study. I'll put it in.
Hold on.
Thank you to Donovan for the $5 for keep fighting the good fight. Or Dawn, excuse me. Thank you, Dawn.
All right, let's see if we can find this.
For the $5
quick.
for keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much. W's, please, to Dawn in the chat. Oh, my tinfoil hat. You're right.
That one. Come on, baby. Gotta find this. Let me do this. Let me just go through this link real quick. Let me go through my Substack, because that's what I have to do.
It's fine. I have no problem with dead air while we wait. I'll mute myself to you. You'll be fine. You'll still be here, but I'll just do a mod announcement to them. So guys, make sure that we are still
Okay,
tapping the screen, please. We are at 65,000 likes, which added on to is exactly where you need to be from where we started. Can we refocus the cam? What? What? It's fine. So thank you. I appreciate it. And we need tinfoil crab sticker. A crab with tinfoil on his head. Aw, I love that idea. But keep tapping that screen, guys. If you're watching on YouTube and you have not hit that thumbs up, I would appreciate it.
I know you in here.
I would appreciate it if you did that. It's because it's study on Amharic.
Where's the search? Where's the search?
Oh my God, I have crabs.
I got it. Hold on.
This one doesn't even list Okuro. So that one, even then, what they're citing in there isn't even right. But then they're citing, look, that's the one I have. That's this
No,
one.
come on, don't do this to me.
Lives in life years saved from COVID-19 vaccination. That would be going against them, probably. Let's see. Oh, that's that guy.
Are we still live?
Yep, we're still here.
Okay, making sure. Good.
What was this one? Probably the same thing. Conclusion. Estimates in the study are substantially more
Take a
conservative than
second, I
previous
gotta do
calculations,
this,
focusing
'cause
mostly on the first year of
I feel
vaccination. but
bad
still
for you for taking that vaccine. You shouldn't have did that.
Well, when you can prove to me why I shouldn't, we'll have a conversation.
Not
But
your
they still
fault,
clearly
but
demonstrate a
you're
major
just as
overall
much a victim,
benefit from
but it's okay.
COVID-19. Still clearly demonstrate a major overall benefit from COVID-19 vaccination during the years 2020 to 2024. Most benefits in lives and life years saved was secured for a portion of older persons, a minority of the global population. So that was that one that they cited.
It's sad. I gotta go through my dang history just to pull up this article. Makes no
That's
sense
not showing a
whatsoever.
Coro, so that's not helpful. Here's another one, paradoxical increase. It's the same one. It's just on a different website because that's what happens. So you go through different websites. There's Emmanuel Okoro. 20 to
I wanna pull up to
2023.
my
Same thing I
Substack, but
have.
I don't know if
Full
I'll let me
public
do it.
text. Same thing that I read to you here. Just so we're being honest. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Okay, so not that one.
June.
Catalan Caricos. No. It's because it's this one. Like, the only one I'm finding is the one that I have pulled up. I've found it on multiple different websites, but it's that one. That's the only one I have found.
I have I think it's through the Substack that I have. I read the article and it showed the numbers of the study.
Sure, but if
I'm
they're citing
wondering-
it, they'd be citing Emmanuel O. Okoro. They'd be citing the paradoxical increase in global COVID-19 deaths with vaccination coverage, World Health Organization estimates 2020 to 2023. That's what they would be citing. I don't care what a Substack said. I care what the actual study said if they're citing this study.
That's what they're saying. That's the information they put on there. But I'm trying
Correct.
to
And
pull
the
it up.
conclusion of that study is saying that COVID-19 mortality increased during a time where people were getting vaccinations in places where people were getting higher vaccination coverage. That does not prove that the vaccine itself killed people. It just is saying that people died during that time. Do you see the difference?
They compared. Here's what they compared. They compared those who didn't get it, those who did get it, in each region. So America,
No, so the
wherever else,
methods, you can read the
Africa.
methods of what they did. So COVID-19 cases, deaths and vaccination rates in World Health Organization database till June 7th of 2023. Case fatality rate per 1,000 for the pre-vaccine period and that over-vaccine era were compared for all WHO regions, while tests of correlation between the percentage change in COVID-19 deaths and variables of interest were examined. It didn't prove that the vaccine itself led to the death. They are correlating.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. That's not even their
It
own
did.
conclusion.
That's
That's
what
not
the
even their own
think about
conclusion.
it.
Doesn't even say that.
Think about it. If they're
No,
saying the
not think about
correlation,
it.
look,
Their conclusion doesn't even say that.
it does say that.
No.
They're correlating, meaning they're
Right.
analyzing
Correlation,
the stats.
correct. Is correlation causation?
No.
Okay.
But they're comparing
So
it.
then I don't
Correlation's
care.
saying, hey, look,
I don't care then, because correlation is not causation. I could say that we had a crap ton of thunderstorms during COVID, and that must have been COVID's fault because I correlated it. Does that make it true?
What they're saying is, okay, say for instance you and I walk in a restaurant, right? Both of us get sick, right? And we get sick from COVID, but guess what? We live. Say for instance another group walks in, right?
Uh-huh.
They get COVID, they get
Sure.
sick, but they take the vaccine as opposed to us who lived who didn't take it.
Were there
That's
other
what they're
variable
correlating.
factors
They're
in
like,
that?
look,
Was there other varying
listen,
factors in that day?
it might have, it just depends. Like you and I are
Okay, so
fairly
then it is
young.
a correlation and not a causation that proves that the vaccine itself caused the death, which is what the criticism of this study is that it didn't factor for variables like age and pre-existing health conditions. That is a critique on the study you gave me, which is simply a correlation in and of itself. You need to
But
research better.
even when you go into that, you can start seeing where they hook people up to yes, they hooked people up to ventilators and they gave them remdesivir, and that actually blew out their lungs and killed these people chemically.
Show me that study.
So that's a fact.
Show me that study.
Well, I have to get more on that because there's
Oh,
still,
okay, 'cause you made it up.
a lot of those numbers. No, I didn't make that up. I'm telling you the truth.
What
don't have
study?
to
You
believe
still
me.
didn't cite me. I had to find this study. You didn't cite this study.
I
So
have
can
to
you
still
cite the other
I
one?
still got to pull up the dang article. That's the
What's
problem.
the medication
I
called?
still got-
Spell the medication.
Remdesivir?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I think it's REMDESEVIR, I think. I might be wrong on one of the I's, but oh well. E's, but oh well.
Stops the virus from making copies of itself. Can you show me where that led to lungs exploding?
That was the intubation. The intubation led to that, but the actual
So it wasn't the
remdesivir
remdesivir then.
That was basically just poison. It didn't help.
Prove
at
to me
all.
it's
It didn't help
poison.
stop-
You just are
It's
making
supposed to
shit
be
up.
antiviral,
You want it to
and
be
it wasn't even
poison, but it's
antiviral.
not,
It
baby
actually
doll.
killed these
You
people.
want it to be poison, but it's not. It's an
Ma'am,
antiviral. It is an antiviral used so that COVID can't copy itself. Okay?
Oh Lord, that's not true. It didn't do.
Do better. Just do fucking better. By the way, yes, my lovelies, all of these will be available in the live outline because that's what we do here is we make sure that we keep these sources for you to look at. I will have this one and this one so that you can read them. And yes, the remdesivir one as well, because why the fuck not? You guys don't know shit. He's literally searching through a Substack article. Substack! Read the studies. Jesus Christ. And read the critique on those studies. If you want to critique the ones that came to a scientific consensus that the vaccines were safe, find the critique on those as well. You can look it up. You can literally look up critique of and type in the fucking study. You can do that. Do it. You're going to find scientific consensus that the vaccine's benefit outweighed risks. You're not going to find where it proved that vaccines led to death. You're not going to find that. You can try and correlate it all you want, but I can just say that there were more thunderstorms during COVID-19, so it was obviously COVID-19's fault. That's a correlation, not a causation. Learn the fucking difference. I'm going to finish playing an actual doctor pushing back on this stupid EO.
Doing was safe, was effective, and I could go.
Right, and then you're saying the intubation blew up the lungs. Do you even know what intubation is? Do you even know what intubation is? What's intubation? Friends. What's intubation? You guys know? My mom was intubated. Actually, after our car accident, my mom was intubated. Do you know that? You know what it is? Simply the tube placed. Exactly! Didn't know they were blowing up my mother's lungs when that happened. My mom still has a scar from her intubation tube. Here forever. Why? You want to know why? Because she had a rib that pierced a lung in her car accident.
Forward to my patients with confidence and make a recommendation. What the president has done here is he's making another attempt to put forward a vaccine schedule.
This is where the chicken eggs get heated by the lamps. Bofa, I can't stand you.
That's based on the Secretary of Health's wild ideas about what should be. And it leaves our children really vulnerable. And there are a lot of children who are going to hear what the president, a lot of parents who are going to hear what the president is saying, and they're going to be confused. They're going to be afraid.
That's a trach. See, I got it wrong. She wasn't intubated. You're right. That was a tracheotomy. You are correct. She had a tracheotomy. See, I was wrong and I can correct myself. You're right. My mom wasn't intubated. She had a tracheotomy. You're right. She's fine. This was years ago. I guess if you want the trauma, we were driving on a German road. We were getting ready to, my dad was in the Air Force. We were getting ready to leave, but we were driving on a German road in a tiny little Mazda. A man driving a 15-passenger van had a piece of paper slide from his dash. He thought it was a good idea on this German mountain road in his 15-passenger van to pick up that piece of paper and hit us, our little Mazda, head on. My mother saw it coming. So because my mother saw it coming, she lifted up her knee in order to brace herself. And because of that, she had a bone come out of her thigh. She had to relearn how to walk. She had a rib pierce her lung. And they didn't think she was going to make it. They did not think she was going to make it. She was life flighted out to a different hospital. I did not have my seatbelt on, so I hit the front of my father's seat, of the driver's seat. I have a scar right here where I flipped because I hit a metal bar, so I had skin flip up. Trauma dump, just trauma dump for all of you, just so you know. Hit the metal bar in my dad's seat ahead of me, so I have this, which is what the EMS saw when they picked me up and didn't realize that when I hit back because I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, I had fractured shit in my spine. So I had to have a spinal fusion. They took bone from down here and they fused it in here. I have 2 lovely scars from that now, and I also had to relearn how to walk, and I was 9 at the time. One of my brothers had a broken jaw. The other brother just had bruises because of where he was sitting. My father had the wind knocked out of him and had a cane when he walked, but he was able to get out of the car. We were all sent to separate hospitals in Germany. He had to visit my mother. He had to visit me. He had to visit a hospital where my brothers were. Luckily, we were in the Air Force, and military is family, so we were never alone. We always had somebody from his canine family with us there. But all suffice to say, yes, tracheotomy, not intubation. Lovely trauma dump for you. It was a long time ago. I was literally 8 years old when that shit happened. So it's fine. We're fine. Everybody's fine. Anyway, the doctor said what the doctor said.
Fortunately, they're going to make some wrong decisions about the health of their children.
So y'all and your bullshit on science doesn't affect me. I've dealt with a lot of doctors. Doesn't mean shit to me. Last little bit that I have on health has nothing to do, thank God, with the EO. Nothing to do with it. But does have to do with somebody they don't fucking care about. So Monty was reconstructed in a military facility. Me and my mom were actually sent to private hospitals. I was sent to like a private pediatrician. My mom was sent to a private hospital. My brothers were at the on-base hospital. That did happen. Hunter Biden came out. Hunter Biden says Joe Biden's cancer has spread further and is very powerful. Former President Joe Biden's prostate cancer has spread further. His son, Hunter Biden, said in a BBC interview offering a stark update on the 83-year-old's health. It's really, really hard, and it's really sad to watch. I wish he would complain more because it's not good, Hunter Biden said in the interview. The cancer has spread, is metastasized into his bones, and further, it's very painful. It's very debilitating in many respects, but he's still out there. He's still doing his thing. He so believes in his country. Did Joe Biden put out a video? I might have missed that. Joe was diagnosed in May of 2025 with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. The former president later underwent hormone treatment and, of course, radiation therapy. In the wide-ranging BBC interview, Hunter Biden also discussed his father's decision to pardon him in the final weeks of his presidency, saying he remains deeply grateful for the move. I am the most privileged person as it relates to that there could possibly be, Hunter Biden said. I was one of one, and I'm eternally grateful for it. And it goes into his pardons, but that wasn't the point. But the point was to say his cancer has metastasized, and it's awful. The fight that he's going to have is terrible. I don't though. DSA, I hope he outlives that orange bastard. I just hope he does. Okay. 30 minutes left as we sit here. We are at 80,000 likes. I know you guys can hit that 100. I know you can. I know you can. There's a video of him going to a restaurant event. You can see he's struggling to walk. Yeah, that's poor thing. Y'all, honestly, like, we can critique him for shit. That's fine. We can critique Joe Biden, but you guys are disgusting, and he's a human. I don't want to see a human suffer, and he actually doesn't get the credit that he should get for his presidency. Suck it up. That's just the way it is. Like, he did what he could, and he did a lot of good. There was a lot of bipartisan legislation that passed. Yeah, he's just a decent man. He's just a decent human who has gone through a lot of shit. You want to talk about trauma? Talk about what Joe Biden has gone through. But you all suck, so there is that. Okay, I don't know. Do I have enough time for this? Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Why not? We'll do this election section, and then we will get out of here. So you guys have 30 minutes. Let's complete some likes up in here, please.
Do you know you have 30 minutes? 30, yes.
All right. Only found out about his cancer after his presidency. Yeah, that's what they said. So Peter Navarro went on Steve Bannon, and Peter Navarro said that we've got information coming, guys. Information is coming.
It's very good news, and I'll have some good stuff for you this week, Steve. Your audience might get tired of me, but I'm going to demand to come back. I've been digging through all of the stuff that John Solomon has been able to get out into the public, which has been, of course, ignored by the legacy media. But I'm doing my job in packaging that in very easy to understand messages in op-eds. So stay tuned.
In op-eds. Remember what an op-ed is? It's an opinion piece. An op-ed is an opinion piece. So he's going to have really, really, really good information for you in an op-ed.
You're going to be talking to me about the depth and breadth of the stuff that's out there. I mean, if you look at what John's put up there on the White House site,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. China, it's Maricopa
it's amazing.
County.
There's nothing. I still have it on my computer. I literally still have it on my computer. All of the shit that they dropped from the White House, still downloaded onto the computer. None of you came up to talk about it. Why? Because it's nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing we didn't already know. Nothing.
It's the vulnerabilities at the ballot box. And all this, and it's like, this is what's so wrong, Steve, with just about every journalistic outlet except War Room. It's like they won't deal with the hard truth.
You mean the truth about how, like, you wrote a book stating that you had really high-ranking economists to pull from that agreed with your theories, and so you cited one. The economist that you cited was Ron Vara. Ron Vara said he is a highly acclaimed economist who agreed with your economic theory in your book, and you wrote that, and then everybody actually found out that the truth of the matter was, since you like truth so much, Peter Navarro, is you did what I like to call the Tom Riddle Voldemort, and you did Navarro and did Ron Vara. You cited yourself in your own book, but you like the truth.
about what happened in 2020. And so we're going to keep working it, and Solomon is going to do what Solomon does, keep getting more and more truth. And yeah, we need, Grassley's doing a great job at the Senate side. Jordan, I don't know what happened to Jim. He's been so unhelpful in so many ways with that gavel in his hand. But we're going to put this little heat on there to get some stuff done.
This is what we're trying.
Sure. He said this week. So he said it's coming this week. We'll see how that timeline changes. Now, this is what I said where that man told me I don't cover enough. Donald Trump talking to, I'm guessing, one of Steve Bannon's other journalists, Root, who suggests declaring a national emergency for these elections because they know they're going to lose. They can't win. Republicans can't win on their own policy. They know their policy is shit, so they have to try and cheat.
A lot of people get it.
So let me put
Hotspot Casino, you didn't prove that.
an idea in your head, okay? Because it's so hard to get the Senate to do anything. Now they're on recess. They don't get anything done if they never get the Save America Act done. You have the right to declare a national security emergency for elections. And the Supreme Court ruled in 1983 under Reagan that INS versus Chadha, that if you declare a national security emergency as the President of the United States, they can't challenge it. It can only be overturned by a 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress. So if you do this in the next month, we will get photo ID, proof of citizenship, and a limit to mail-in ballots. And you don't even need the Senate vote.
Happened. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
All right, we'll leave it at that. So let me finish with a couple.
Bullshit. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Where did you say? Hold on, because I'm trying to see. I didn't see you cite anything. You didn't cite anything. I found that study. I'm not a mod. No, it would still show up, though. It didn't even show up. Hotspot. Links don't show up in the Twitch chat. Links will show up in the YouTube chat. I just can't click them, but I can copy and paste them. You didn't post it. Do you know what the word correlate means? Do you know what it means? What does it mean, Hotspot? Define correlate for me. Yeah, and Raina, thank you. As you point out, the executive branch has no power over state elections. So no, you can't declare a national emergency to effectuate elections because they're run by the states. That's too bad, so sad, but that is something they plan to do. So when it happens, don't be fucking shocked and be prepared to get out there and use your voice and your protest power. Be fucking prepared. Okay? All right. So then Steve Hilton, who is running for governor against Javier Becerra or Xavier Becerra. I'm not sure what they say. I want to say Javier because I'm fucking Latina, but apparently it's Xavier. I don't know. Whatever. And Steve Hilton, who's running against him, is asked, what of the Trump administration are you proud of? So we'll get to that in a second.
Hi, me again. Sorry. Elections. Hi. Going along with what Molly said about, your right to assembly and this is your voice and everything like that. The palm color people, I need you to make sure that this is your time to shine.
Yep.
You commies, this is your time to shine. Organize something close to polls where people can come get drinks, just food and water, and then everybody go ahead and travel to the polls together, strengthen numbers, especially to help protect marginalized communities, especially to help these particular communities that feel like they're going to be intimidated at the polls. Strengthen numbers. You all walk together, you go through it together, and you make sure that if you're door knocking for campaigning or for campaigns, if you are, even if you're just talking to your neighbors, pass out knowing the things for knowing your rights and knowing what is allowed and not allowed to happen at your local polling stations. Tell people, especially if you have been redistricted, let them know, hey, your polling place has changed. All of these different things are ways to be able to avoid whatever the fuck they think they're going to do. Please do not sit in fear and say, I'm staying home. Please do not sit in fear and just like go for yourself and then not think about the other people that are also sitting in fear. If we're all in fear together, but we do something about it, it creates strength and power, power, and numbers. And that's what we need at the polls are numbers. I'm not inciting anything wild. I'm legitimately just saying organize within your community to be able to accomplish the things that you would like to accomplish. And that is changing whatever the fuck this is, changing what is happening right now for the better, protecting your marginalized communities, protecting women, protecting children. And that is what changing the Congress will look like. Okay. So those are the things that I keep telling people, white people, be the shell of the M&M. You're not changing the contents, but you're just making sure that the chocolate stays well inside and everything like that. Because the thing is, the difference between you and I is I will leave with silver piercings where you might leave with silver bracelets. And that's two different things.
Right.
Okay. So, yes, if you have an issue with what's going on, you don't like the way things are going, get out and vote and make sure the people around you are getting out to vote. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
W's to me, yeah. Hotspot. Correlation means that thing, what seemed to be causing said problem. Y'all are weird. You are weird. Read your sentence again. Seems to be is not objective proof. Correct? Seems to be is not objective proof. Okay. Also, to correlate means to show or find a close connection or mutual relationship between two or more things where a change in one may lead to a change in the other. Understand words. Don't come after somebody who understands the English language. So, Steve Hilton is asked, what of Donald Trump's administration, what of his policies, whatever, what are you proud of? What are you proud of? He has a hard time answering that.
You said during the campaign, with a debate with Chad Bianco, you're very proud of President Trump. You still feel that way?
Well, the endorsement, yeah. I mean, I'm a new
That
American.
was before he endorsed you. You're proud of what he's done as president.
Well, I'm not sure. What's the exact... I mean, I certainly think that the general... Look, I'm very much aligned with him on the economic policy, on the way that... I mean, he's focused on boosting our energy supply in California, on fighting fraud within the system. There's a lot of things that I agree with, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You said...
So, okay, he agrees on his economic policy, which we can critique Steve Hilton for agreeing with the economic policy because it's not helpful. Hotspot, you're not causing me any kind of fear because you're an absolute idiot, so congratulations. I don't want to cause you fear, but you made a huge mistake. I didn't make a mistake. All the science is against you, Hotspot. So too bad, so sad. It sounds like you're scared of everything. Is what it sounds like. You're scared of everything. Anyway, I just want to listen to him stumble one more time, and then we'll keep going, because I got to get through some shit before we get out of here.
During the campaign, with a debate with Chad Bianco, you're very proud of President Trump. You still feel that way?
Well, the endorsement, yeah. I mean, I'm a new American.
That was before he endorsed you. You're proud of what he's done as president.
Well, I'm not sure. What's the exact... I mean, I certainly think that the general... Look, I'm very much aligned with him on the economic policy, on...
He wants to win that election so bad. He's like, you see, the thing is, when it comes to, you have a savings and a checking, and a checking and a savings. And when you put the money into the checking and then into the savings and then the savings into the check, moving on. I wanted to play this. This is retired Republican County Judge Glenn Whitley endorsing James Tallarico. Not only did Ken Paxton's former attorney endorse James Tallarico, you now have former Republican county judges endorsing Tallarico as well.
But I'm going to have to tell you right now, as a Texan, I am ashamed of the fact that Ken Paxton is even on the ballot.
Stop. Wait. I'm so sorry. I know that we're supposed to be done with the health section. I'm so sorry. I should not be talking to Hotspot anymore because, as we learned, he's an absolute ignoramus. He thinks my menses changed because of the COVID vaccine. Did I die? No. My menses are just fine. My menses are just fine. Pretty much at around the same as they have been. You actually know what changed my menses was getting an IUD with the hormones in it. Getting a Mirena actually changed the effects of cramping. But other than that, my menses shows up at the exact same amount of time as it usually does because I track it. It wasn't COVID. COVID didn't do anything to that. Oh my god, that was hilarious. I couldn't help myself. Can I get W's to Andrea? Andrea, please. W's to Andrea. I know you hit your for the dollar train. Choo choo. I know you hit your goal today, but I wanted to say thank you for being a baddie and spitting facts. Love you, love your show, Queen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God, wild information that was. Anyway, back to retired Republican county judge endorsing Tallarico.
Right now, as a Texan, I am ashamed of the fact that Ken Paxton is even on the ballot. I believe him to be the most corrupt politician that Texas has ever seen.
Sure.
I picked up the paper this morning and read it, and I saw that in Allen last night he said, I'm excited to educate people about my record over the last 20-something years. Well, let me help him.
Uh-oh.
He has avoided trial on securities fraud charges. He agreed to pay whistleblowers to resolve claims that they had. He was impeached by the members of his own party on allegations of bribery and abuse of office.
True.
His divorce proceedings have also received widespread publicity. Somehow he has managed to become a multi-millionaire while serving in public office.
True.
Now, he reportedly owns, I think, some 15 homes across this state and this country. No wonder he can't figure out where to vote. Finally, if character, if integrity, and if accountability matters to you, and if having someone who will work for Texas and not for himself, then we must elect James Tallarico in November.
W. Yeah, right? It kind of, you're right, Cooter McGavin. It turned into a roast more than it did an endorsement speech, but that's fine. So then what I want to do is we're finishing this election section. I've got a little bit left. We're going to finish it. I want to go into a little bit of history with you guys. But first, we're going to listen to Caroline Leavitt, and then we will get into our history lesson because they're scared, and they should be. It's not going well for them.
Is this going to work for them?
Well, I don't think so, and I certainly pray it does not. I believe that there are millions of Americans across this country who see these Democrats for who they are. These are radical, extreme liberals, socialists, communists, whatever you want.
Girl, do your eyebrows move? I'm sorry.
Want to call them, Sean. What matters most is their extreme policy positions. This is no longer the Democrat Party of JFK. Heck, this is not even the Democrat Party of Barack Obama. This is a party that has been totally captivated by these far-left extreme liberals who support massively raising your taxes,
Now, I want you to remember that part specifically, though. This is not the Democratic Party of JFK, and it's not the Democratic Party of Obama. We're so far removed and extreme from that now. This is why we're going to have our history lesson. Hold on.
Support abolishing your police, who support abolishing private prison.
I know, she's younger than me. Like, it's wild. It's wild. Stop doing that to your face. Stop it.
who support reopening our southern border and our nation's borders to illegal alien criminals all over the world. These are radical Democrats who support terrible policies across the board. Again, taking away your private property, abolishing the police, banning prisons, and just allowing complete lawlessness and chaos across our country. We had 4 years of that under Joe Biden. Thanks to President Trump and Republicans and common sense policies across the board, our country is safer. Our country is more affordable.
By the way, I have that clip again for economy another day. Trump's made it affordable, right?
Not allow these radical, extreme, far-left liberals to take power. We have steady progress under President Trump right now. If these radical, extreme liberals are given a chance at power here in Washington, D.C., they will try to obstruct this president and turn our country into a communist hellhole with every extreme liberal policy that they try to implement.
Okay, so, Avitala, what I would say is I understand where you're coming from. We always are trying to deconstruct and check ourselves in way of misogyny, and I know that it can be misogynistic to go after a woman's appearance. But to be fair, I will say for me, at least on my platform, to be fair, if this was Matt Gaetz speaking, I would have said the same thing and been like, oh, well, why don't his eyebrows move? So really, that's just the MAGA makeover shit. Yeah, Blue, I don't know. We had 4 years of banned prisons. I guess we didn't send anybody to prison during the 4 years of the Biden administration. You know, Arkham Asylum is not safe, Blue. Let's be honest. Arkham Asylum is not a safe place. We keep sending them there, and they keep breaking out. And so it keeps Batman very busy, and that's the Democrats' fault. That is the Democrats' fault. So we just have to be honest about that, Blue. We just have to be honest about that. Let's go into some history. Remember, this is not the party of JFK. It's not the party of Obama. Is it not? Is it not? This is an article. No, go away. From October 29th of 2008. So what, a week? A week before the election? Or no. Yeah. Like a week before the election? October 29, 2008. Obama wonders what McCain will call him next. A communist? Barack Obama may have shared his toys and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in grade school, but that doesn't make him a socialist or a communist, he argued at a rally here today in Raleigh, North Carolina. Blasting back at McCain's criticism of his tax plan, Obama ridiculed his opponent's assertion. Quote, he called me a socialist for wanting to roll back the Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans so we can finally give tax relief to the middle class. I don't know what's next, Obama said at a rally at the Halifax Mall here. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Does that sound familiar to anyone? The communists want to come in and they want to tax the middle class, but they just got to tax the rich, and they're going to tax the rich, and then nobody will have jobs if we tax the rich. Communism! So it's not the party of Obama, but Obama was also called a socialist? Same propaganda, different fucking decade. While he continued to link McCain to George Bush, Obama linked himself up with Bill Clinton, saying that his policies were similar to Bill Clinton's. That's true. And then McCain spokesman Tucker Bounds blasted back at Obama after the Obama. Why'd you write it? At the Obama? The Obama. Ooh, fancy. At Obama after the event, quote, no one cares what Barack Obama does with his toys, but Americans do care that he wants to raise taxes at $1 trillion in new spending and redistribute your hard-earned paycheck as he sees fit. Does that propaganda sound familiar to anybody? Anyone? 2008. Oh, wait. But wait, there's more. This is CNBC from 2012. Election 2012. Is Obama a socialist? Published June 4th of 2012, months before the election. When President Barack re-election campaign unveiled its new slogan, I'm glad to see nobody knew how to do English. When President Barack re-election campaign unveiled its new slogan, some conservative critics were quick to pounds. Forward, they asserted, is a word long associated with Europe's radical left. Its choice reaffirms their contention that Obama is, to some degree or other, a socialist, a claim that surfaced early in the 2008 campaign and has persisted ever since, fueling a lively industry of bumper stickers and books. New Obama slogan has long ties to Marxism and socialism, read a headline in the Washington Times. A column by Russian immigrant Svetlana Kunin for Investors Business Daily said Obama seeks to move America forward to total government involvement in people's lives. Obama, communist. This is far from a new phenomenon. The use of the word socialist as a political epithet in the U.S. dates to pre-Civil War days, when abolitionist newspaper editor Horace Greeley was branded a socialist by some pro-slavery adversaries. Shocker! Shocker! The people who were pro-slavery said the person who was against slavery was a socialist. I'm shocked. Have things changed very much? No, they haven't. In the 20th century, many elements of Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal, including Social Security, were denounced as socialist. So was Medicare when it was created in the 1960s. But to many historians and political scientists, and to actual socialists as well, the persistent claim that Obama is a socialist lacks credence. Now, again, this idea that this is not the Democrat Party of old. It's not. It is moving. I will say it's progressing, but it is no different. The attacks are the same. The attacks are the same. Terrence Ball, a political scientist at Arizona State University, said socialist has gained currency as an anti-Obama slur because the L word, liberal, has lost its shock value. You guys saying liberal doesn't hurt anybody anymore, so you guys moved on to socialist. Does this one say it? I don't know that this one does. I read one that did this morning. No. I remember it, though. Does anybody remember them calling Obama, if you liked Obama, he was an Obamunist? Do you guys remember that? I do. Especially in like 2012. You guys were an Obamunist because he's a communist. You guys don't remember. Romney said, I don't use the word socialist, or I haven't so far, but I do agree that the president's approach is government heavy, government intensive, and it's not working. It's not working. So I just want you to remember, when they try to scare you, when they try to use the Red Scare on you, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. It's the same fucking shit that we have seen before. Okay. This part might take a little bit longer. I'll probably have to go over by like 20 minutes. It's okay. I want to do it because I want to do it. Thank you, by the way, Hector Talks. Thank you for all of this information I got from Hector's Discord. I said I was going to cover this, so I want to cover it. So let's cover Tarrant County. We're going to cover this video on it first. News video on it first, and then some of the speaking engagements, and then we will get out of here, guys. So keep tapping, keep doing the good things. We had 102,000 likes. That would be 276,000. So 276,000. So we did not hit 300,000. That's disappointing. I know we had a restart, but you guys could have been tapping. Damn. That's rude. That's rude. But let's do this.
Vote them out! People turned out to Tarrant County Commissioner's Court Tuesday.
We will not step back and say this is okay.
People who are concerned about a proposal to cut polling locations for the upcoming midterms.
I don't understand why anyone would want to reduce voting sites.
A plan before the court would reduce locations on Election Day by more than 100 sites when compared to midterms in 2022, from 316 locations to 176.
That's insane. 316 locations to 106. That's what they want to reduce it by, although the population of Tarrant County has increased by 30%. Tell me that's not voter suppression. Honestly, try and tell me that that's not voter suppression. You're making it harder for voting to be accessible. You are. That's impossible because every conservative actually voted for Obama. True. Well, I voted for Obama.
Population surges, you are proposing slashing access to the polls.
More than 100 people pleaded with the court asking them to reconsider. People who claim it's voter suppression, saying it disproportionately limits access for Black and brown communities.
One can't help but notice where these cuts are concentrated.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that? Who is that? I know him.
The passion turned contentious.
All your
remove him immediately from the room.
I'm walking out, you small man.
You have disrupted this meeting.
County Judge O'Hare removed more than a handful of people. One person was arrested for what he called disruptions to the meeting.
Shame, shame, shame.
It led to chanting in the hallway.
This is what democracy looks like.
Despite the backlash, County Judge O'Hare claimed no one on Commissioner's Court knew about the proposal until late last week.
You missed the mark a little bit. I think the number is too low.
The election administrator said he was the one who came up with the new locations based on what he
Hector didn't get arrested.
called following the math.
This is a deliberate act to reduce voter access.
So I'm going to have to disagree with the deliberate act.
Commissioners voted to table the proposal today. They are asking the
It is. What other reason could there be? If your population has increased by 30%, why would you reduce polling locations from 316 to 106? What other reason could there be?
Elections administrator to get back to work, add more locations, and bring it back next month for consideration. In Fort Worth, I'm Brittany Costello.
Okay. So there's that. Now, I was trying to get trying to get better images of this, but I had a hard time finding them. So I'm going to play this guy first because this is who I found on Twitter, and then I'm going to play the videos that Hector had. I have them saved on my computer, and I figured out a way to play them for you. So, did they give a reason?
All right, so I'm here to...
And as Hector points out, which is the important part, is that they tabled it for a month, right? So they said, we're not going to vote on this and put this through for a month. That means in a month, we better see the same energy, if not more energy, in Tarrant County. So if you live in Tarrant County, or you have family who lives in, or friends who live in Tarrant County, make sure they're getting their voices out and heard, because in a month, we're going to do it all over again. And I don't want to see less people. I want to see more people.
All right, so I'm here today to talk about the fact that we are proposing to close a bunch of polling locations. Now, the amount of registered voters in Tarrant County has increased 30% since the last midterms 4 years ago. And to be closing polling locations is just a very blatant act of voter suppression, and especially doing so after racist gerrymandering and redistricting happened. You know, when I joined the United States Navy, I swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and domestic. And when people try to take away our right to vote in America, they start looking like enemies domestic. I'm talking to you, comrades.
Thank you.
Did he just say what I thought he said?
Yeah, he did. Did he just say what I thought he said? He sure fucking did. He sure fucking did. So do that. And now we're going to get to the speakers that Hector posted. So let me pull this up. And we'll go in some kind of order. I don't know if I have them in order, to be fair, but we'll play them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last week, I attended the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, which is equivalent to this Commissioner's Court. Here's what I witnessed. Number one, they meet every week. 2, agenda is available in 4 languages. You can speak, you can dial in and speak via phone. You can also sign up to speak in person in real time. You don't have to sign up a day in advance. Interpreters are available to translate public comments, and real-time translation is available via headsets and an app called Worldly AI. I was in a state of shock to witness a human-centered approach to public access. Now let's compare to this court. You meet once a month. Public comments can only be in person, not via phone or virtual. Speaking time is based on the number of people who have signed up, not number of people who showed up. People are removed for clapping. People are removed for speaking out.
This was in Tarrant County in Texas. Yeah, where Hector spoke. I have Hector's clip. These are all from Hector's Discord.
People are treated like a disruption instead of the reason this government exists. You keep telling us not to California my Texas, while in reality, you keep Russia my Texas. You 3 boys from the GOP...
All right, hang on. That's it. We're going to clear the entire chambers now. You'll get your 10 seconds left. I told you how it was going to go. So we're in recess until the chambers are cleared. Okay. Take that one, remove him from the building. Remove him.
What a bunch of little pussy bitches. So they got rid of everybody. So she was the last speaker, but we have other ones.
Please state your name.
Cutting polling locations in growing communities is voter suppression, gift wrapped in white supremacy and desperation. Fear has a funny way of revealing itself, and right now it's written all over your actions and your faces. As you continue making it harder for working families, seniors, students, and Black and brown voters to exercise our most fundamental right in democracy, may this awake our communities to see that if our votes did not matter, y'all wouldn't be working overtime to make voting feel like an obstacle course. Huey P. Newton said, "The young always inherit the revolution." Our young people are watching, organizing, and taking notes, so trust and believe the receipts will be saved. Here's a community call to action. Register every student, organize every block and neighborhood, turn out every family, and let's unseat every elected official who supported limiting our access to the ballot box. We have the opportunity to make history here in Tarrant County by electing our first Black female county judge.
Thank you.
So they're trying to have, I believe it's this woman that they are trying to have replace him, who's very upset he's spaghetti. So they're working on that.
All right, so I want to let everyone know this is a win-win. All right, a win if they don't vote for this, so we make our lives easier to vote. A win, we still have a historic November election. Commissioner Simmons, I don't think they get it. So many of us started showing up after the racial gerrymander. All this new talent, people running against you, Commissioner Ramirez. We have a great candidate with Nydia Cardenas, who showed up because of the same fights you guys are trying to do today in August. And so what happened in June created the March signal. And what's happening in August will create a historic November. You guys are so desperate that Matt Krause is picking in his bucket down to Truth Social, Rumble, and just saying, socialism, authoritarianism, y'all come and help us, please. And Manny, you said you're all about cooling the temperature, and yet you vote for this extremist bullshit. All of you are bullshit.
Remove him immediately from the room.
I'm walking out, you small man.
You have disrupted this meeting. We are
saying
now
bullshit?
you are disrupting the meeting. We are now in recess.
They're so tough. They're so tough. They're and then I have the last one I play. I saved Hector last for you guys. I know how special he is to you. I saved him for last.
Republican members of this body want to cut polling locations again, and if your reasoning is consistent with the one cited last year, it's due to cost and lower turnout outside of presidential elections. But in March, both parties had the largest primary turnout in the last few elections, with Democrats doubling their ballots cast here.
Natty. Or no, that's Chicky that time. Sorry. Is this where he gets arrested? Yeah, that's what happened.
And in 3 other counties. For the first time since 2020, Democrats suppressed Republicans. Last year, to justify more cuts for the 17 constitutional amendments, Mr. O'Hare said the public, 99% of the public, couldn't name a single one. So what does that say when you want to cut more polling locations, and as Texas has one of the most recognized gubernatorial and Senate races in the country? You can say it's about costs, but in June it was reported there was $4.8 million in discretionary funds. Then in 2024, you tried and failed to close 8 centers on college campuses, and we know where they lean. This county is the 3rd largest in the state, with growth largely driven by Black, Hispanic, and Asian residents whose population doubled over 20 years. One can't help but notice where these cuts are concentrated, and the cost I care about more than the most is discouraged American who doesn't understand why their government would make it harder for them to vote.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks.
All right.
All right. Oh, stop. Stop now. Stop. You can go away. Stop. Okay. That's all I had for you guys. Oh no, I had one more. I lied, one more, but this is not to do with Tarrant County. This is Oliver Larkin. This is the shit that they're trying to say. Again, just to prove a point with elections once again, this is them saying, like, you should be scared of this. Why should we be scared of this? I don't know.
If Oliver Larkin had his way, well, there would be Medicare for all, no more electoral college, automatic same-day voter registration, an immediate shift away from fossil fuels. In other words, just like every other DSA candidate, he would radically transform our country until, I would argue, it's not recognizable.
By the way, Oliver Larkin is the one who posted this and said, I approve this message. Medicare for all. Get rid of the electoral college. Oh, no.
To try and defend his, agenda, Florida Democratic congressional candidate Oliver Larkin. I do appreciate you coming on. I do. Let's pick up where we left off on my radio show. So I ask you, 2 each according to their need, from each American according to their ability. And I ask you, well, who said that? You did not know that it was Karl Marx.
Okay, he didn't know that it was Karl Marx that said that, but Hannity, you already misquoted Karl Marx. Karl Marx damn sure did not say, to each according to their need, from each American according to their ability. That is not what Karl Marx said. Karl Marx said, from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. At least quote it right.
Have you had
The middle part on a man is wild. He kind of did a side part. He tried to do a side part.
time to think about that?
I've been focusing on meeting the people of our district, and I'm not coming at this from a
No, I didn't say I was a fan, Jeremy. I just wanted Hannity to quote him correctly.
theoretical point of view. I'm coming at this race from a pragmatic point of view of what the American people and the people of South Florida need, and that is Medicare for all, that is universal child care, that is the policy proposals that you just articulated on your show. This is what people, working class people, Democrats, Republicans, and independents want to see reflected in our government's priorities.
And they do, which is why they keep winning primaries, and that's why they're going to win at least the House, if not the Senate by a slim majority. But still, I'm still iffy on that. I still reserve on that. Let me get to this last bit before I go. W's to Steph for the dollar train. Choo choo. He said not to mention. Oh, what did you? Wait, hold on. Feel like I missed something. Did I miss something? No, I did. Not to mention, can't give water or food at the polls without causing an issue, and you're not waiting indoors. It's hot. It's all by design. Yes, you are correct. They will try to create rules that you're not allowed to issue out food or water to people in line because you could be influencing their vote, which is just fucking silly. Like, they are trying to keep people from voting because they know how long these lines get, especially if you're outside in a place like Texas where it's hot and it's humid and you really want to drink. You're just going to be like, fuck it, I just won't vote. Fuck it. That is their way of doing voter suppression. So yes, Steph, absolutely correct. Thank you so much for the dollar. You're right. 100% right. Okay, we gotta go raid now. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for watching today. Thank you for staying with me as I went over a little bit of our time today, but I really wanted to finish that section. I wanted to play those videos in regards to Tarrant County. In the election section, I thought it was important to do so. A man is here. Why?
Hector's up in Brett's, so you just raid Brett and do like a justice for Hector raid.
He's gonna be so confused. I love this. I love this for me. Okay, so YouTube and Twitch.
Free Hector 2026.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're doing this. Okay, let me send this so I can send them to RTP. So Twitch and YouTube, I love you all. I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. Somebody put Brett's @ in the TikTok chat. I'm going to send you guys to RTP. I know he's talking about some of the similar things that I was talking about, but he does it in his own way. And it's always good, and we love that. So I will see you guys tomorrow, YouTube and Twitch. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.